Good day, good evening, good night.
It's a sad day in
Is
Russia.
it?
Oh, I
Well,
don't
fans know
know.
we're live
I
and
think we need to take a moment of silence.
We'll do it in silence. You're right, in silence.
It's so sad what's happening right now.
I know.
I know. You see, this
National-
just proved that God ain't.
It's national-
This just proved that God is not like man, right? Because God ain't petty like me. I'm just saying. He isn't petty like me. No fact that we're alive and
With our Russian funeral music.
hello, man.
Okay. Fine.
You know what? It's absolutely fine because it's classical music, so the copyright on that shit is over ages.
No one's
ago.
coming for us.
Oh, wow.
I doubt anyone can detect who is which conduct our performance. So, ladies, we're back on the air.
And someone's typing away.
I am sorry. I'm on. I have angry Twitter fingers.
Well, you could be angry all you want.
I know, right?
You know what I'm angry about? I'm angry that this fucking Russian gives us hope, and then for what?
Yeah, that
To get
break
broken
point.
twice in the fifth. I don't give a fuck. Listen, if he comes back to win, I'll edit this out.
He's got two. He's got to break back
He's
twice.
got 2 breaks. Yeah.
It's fine. Look, I don't care.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
do.
care.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
So
Listen. If you didn't care, you wouldn't have wasted 2 hours watching that damn match.
that's right.
Oh, wait a minute. You see, no, you ladies will not. You all would not. You know what?
Yes,
Let me
we
get
will. You don't
Y'all
get to say
lucky
nothing.
this competition was not on tweet. And you know what? I spoke to our special podcast, a special friend of the podcast. What's his fake name? I forgot what his fake name is.
Oh, he broke back, but you should have broken. You should have held serve once, so you didn't have to worry about this. Now you're gonna have Rafa breaking for the win.
Look at Janina popping in and out.
I got angry.
Stop being angry.
I don't even know.
listen.
I consider
Fans,
it
for the
my
record,
argument.
these ladies are awesome. They're lovely. But the reason why we're starting at near 9 o'clock is because of these ladies.
Why?
Because we didn't want to start during the second set.
And how horrific would we have been? We're talking about, well, Rafa would have still won, but now at least Medvedev has made it decent and respectable, and that's better than anything. Listen, we know we're gonna throw away about 10 of Rafa's slams later.
All right, for
You
sure.
can't-
You know what? Let's do this right. Let's start the introductions. Go,
Yeah,
Reels.
Hold on.
Yeah, please.
He says, "Hold on. Is this really we are so discombobulated right now."
Well, good night, good evening, good day again, ladies and gentlemen. We have our Real Tennis podcast. I believe this is our 160th. It's our Russian love affair. We're continuing.
It's
Apparently,
161.
thank you.
We're old.
It is true. It is 161. But before I go any further, let me introduce my co-hostesses with the mostesses. We have Andre from Solely Tennis Travel. How are you, girl?
I'm good. Still chilling out in New York City.
Yes, so we're on the same high thought. And that was lovely as always. It's always nice. And she was showing a lot of cleavage. I had to pull those girls together. Like, girl, we ain't giving free shows. Not in Times Square. We are not bringing back those times. They cleaned that area up, Andre. Don't be that.
Oh my god.
And I walked her back to the hotel like a respectable young man.
Oh, that was awesome.
Did you kiss her good night?
I hugged her. I hugged her. If I ever kiss a woman, it would definitely see in my mind. So
It was quite like
no, I did not.
And
And
then
we have the Cato Kalen of all podcasts, Janina in Foreign, Ohio. How are you, girl?
Pissed off, but great. I'm hungry.
Why
I'm
you pissed
tired
off?
because it's 9:00, and I'm over it, and I'm hungry.
well,
Have you fed your family?
No,
Why didn't you do that while the damn match was going on?
I've had a busy
That's what I'm
day.
saying.
I mean, don't waste your time in the rock.
I told Jason to bring food home. It's fine.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, we are obviously calling you in the middle of the final set because we are a crazy podcast. How dare we call you in the middle of a final set? But Rafa is up 2 breaks and Medvedev is serving
One break.
breaking 1.
And Rafa's got a match point, so let's just move the fuck up.
Janina's so upset.
Jesus. I mean, this fucker gave me hope.
I know.
I thought he was going to be the one to save my Russian draw.
I
Sveta
know.
let me down. Everybody let me down. Everybody has let me down.
It's not even just about the draw, girl. I thought he was going to save tennis. Think about it. This is like we're entering a new decade, and it's still these damn motherfuckers.
Listen, I got people on my Twitter timeline. They're like,
Fed.
"Oh no, don't start yet," because Nadal was penalized because he got another warning. So
Whatever.
it doesn't. You're up 2 breaks. It doesn't matter.
You're losing a game.
you need to make sure like you penalize him so you cost them the match like you do Serena.
Right.
I mean, that's the kind
Exactly.
of what kind of penalty does that?
Otherwise,
Yeah, we don't care.
telling him something it's nothing. It's pointless. Just
And you
saying,
know what? I mean, the beauty of this is if somehow Medvedev gets to come back and win this, we will celebrate it live in the moment. We will get to see how crazy we act. But I don't think it's happening because right now, again, Rafa has another match point. How many? Well, I'm not going to say how many does somebody need because I mean we've seen Federer squander away quite a few. But I mean, it's just not likely.
No, I mean, I think it's fine. At least, you know what? For me, at least Medvedev gave it a battle. It was difficult. I listen after set 2. I was like, uh-oh. And that's decent. It's decent. It's
we are going to catch hell for this. We're like talking like it's over.
Why would we catch hell? It's inevitable. Listen,
I know, right? We should have.
Oh my god, no. I quite like the idea. No, I quite like the idea. Can you imagine someone coming back from 2 breaks down in a 5th set to beat Rafa Nadal?
Oh, I love it.
And take your first slam.
If that happens, I need to see his piss.
Who's piss?
Medvedev's. This old skinny motherfucker coming back to do that. Whoa. Oh man.
Anyway, done for the year. Anyway, let's not linger on these sad moments and these, let's not linger on these.
All right. Let's go back and talk about
have much more important things.
Because they are over.
Because
you're both talking at the same time, so somebody pick.
So I just want to say, as we move along and we get our podcast going, I'm just going to be petty and say that, I should be the draw king, of this podcast.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Because I picked Wang to get to the round of 16. And not only did she get to the round of 16, she beat Body. Okay?
Jesus.
And none of y'all had that.
Of course we didn't.
Of course. Let me see. Who do I have?
I didn't even, you know what? I left my draw outside. I didn't even go get it like I said I was going to do.
Let me tell you.
Because it doesn't matter. Because nobody is, it was destroyed on day 2.
My draw was savage. First of all, by following Janina down the Sveta road. Never do that again.
Man. Y'all are assholes.
Another reason why I should be the draw king.
You had Sveta going out. Medvedev is
Medvedev won a game. Rafa has to try and serve it out now. Right. He's trying to pump up that crowd. He's throwing his arms up. I like it. Maybe the Russian's not dead yet. We are gonna pull back on the funeral music.
Don't do this, Janina. Don't do that.
Oh, bless.
Sorry.
So, ladies, did you have a wonderful U.S. Open? How was it for you?
No.
I really hate the U.S. Open every year. I think I finally settled into that. I just don't like the U.S. Open anymore.
So you're trying to tell us that the French is the king again?
I mean, listen, the U.S. Open is competing for worst slam, ratcheting up very close to the French Open as the worst slam ever. I mean,
Do you mean to tell me the French have won a war? They've won this battle. They're winning this battle.
they've been losing. They've been winning the worst slam award for I'd say years running now. But since the U.S. Open has decided that it wants to be its own version of hard court clay, it's coming very close.
Okay, sorry, folks. I didn't realize that people were putting messages in here. I'm so sorry. Zenobia is here. Yvette is here. Hey, people. I couldn't see Tony is here. I'm sorry. I have no manners.
Oh, we're looking at the wrong comments.
89.
I thought they'd be all watching. I thought they'd be all watching to make sure Rafa serves that out.
Tony, be careful now because at this point, Rafa's about to get a game penalty.
No,
right?
Oh my god. That would be, I would.
Oh my god, the commentators would go nuts, right? They'd be like, you can't believe they did that to him on.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine defaulting Rafa in a match?
Because he's been given, because what's been happening in the match actually is that the umpire is stopping the shot clock and Rafa is still wasting time.
Well,
he's apparently saying.
I love it though. The Rafa, you know what I love about it is that the shot clock should have been called the Rafa clock because it was invented for him. He's the one that they did it for.
That's what I said.
They need to call it the Rafa clock.
Here we go. Yes. Daniel is here. He's here for
when he
final
retires.
game.
When he retires, they're gonna call it the Rafa clock.
Where's Dima?
Dima's probably trembling. Probably praying to the
and then we lost poor Janina again. But I feel sad about the whole thing because you can't get yourself all the way to this point and then lose. You can't work so hard and then
he's giving a fight. He is giving a fight, and this is, I mean, if he pulls this off, this will be a better fight than anything we've seen in a long time. Because the fights of all between old people. Meanwhile, Dominic team is just like, where the fuck was this Rafa? Where was this Rafa in Paris for 2 years running?
No, you know what? I mean.
Dominic is like, what the hell? I am number 4 in the world. This is bad personality, Diva. Now,
is it gonna break again? Is this really gonna happen?
No,
it's not gonna happen, is it?
Rafa gonna bind him to Siberia. He wakes up for time violations.
Look, these people need some kind of money, need some bang for the tennis because they didn't get that yesterday. So
oh my god, you shady motherfucker!
Oh, I thought that's really cool. You're doing a master's in public health. That's wonderful. So you ladies don't think the US Open is competing to be the worst slam ever? Why is that?
Because everybody hates you,
and everything is so belabored. Everything is really belabored at the US Open. I don't enjoy it. I just don't. I listen. I come visit. I've been visiting for years. It's just not an enjoyable time. Because you know what? You revealed it to me today, and I was like, "You're damn right." The size of the grounds hasn't changed, but they've increased the amount of people. That
every year you go, there's something else which wasn't there last year. Like and you want more people to show up here, less space, and you put in more shit on the ground. Literally, people are crawling over each other. And I think one of the reasons why, I mean, though it's a hardcore event, that they put 2 matches on Ash every day, except it's a doubles match or something that they know they can get rid of people.
Yeah.
And most people are not going to stick around. It's because by 7 o'clock, there is such a bottleneck fire hazard at that front gate. It is ridiculous. Everyone is in there. They have to clear it out, clean it out, until we have to have a national anthem, a concert, all this kind of mess. It is just a piss poor, poorly run show. I don't know how people feel they can get a bang for the buck. And they're spending so much money out there for bullshit liquor.
1530 for Rafa. Come on, Medvedev. Get it back on serve. Do your duty.
Medvedev, we have a whole podcast for you. So
For you. We're just waiting
For
for
you.
you to come through.
for you to come through. This is a Russian
Ah,
affair.
this is
Stole
what
the
we do.
election, and I swear to God, y'all can steal a match, Medvedev. What is a match? What is a major tennis final for you to steal?
This is
When
the-
y'all stole an Olympics, y'all stole an election. I mean, come on, one match, Medvedev.
Oh,
One match.
I know.
One
I
match.
can't- Oh,
I'm
what?
just saying, Medvedev, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this.
So while Medvedev is at 30 all, what was your favorite part about the women?
Coco,
Oh my God,
Uh,
Medvedev's hair is so bad.
the first round, Medvedev. You know what? Medvedev looked like every
You
time I
can,
see
you know what?
Medvedev,
You should just live tweet. You should just talk us through the final minutes, Janina.
I mean, I can.
Yes.
Medvedev
Yeah,
looks
fine.
like, you know, his head is really oddly shaped, and all that sweat is making really strange patterns of hair on his forehead, and I'm really
you're
bothered
not-
by it.
You are not coming and talking about Medvedev.
Oh, yes, I
and
am. His
Rafa's
head is
over
so
there
weird.
looking like a
So we're at 30 love, slugging it out from the baseline. I want Medvedev
Great
to come in,
point for
and
Medvedev.
boom, break point. Hot
Yes.
damn in the city.
Come on now. Take it. Take it.
Does he take
Take
it?
it.
Medvedev,
Let's take
Take
bet.
it.
y'all
Real
stole
quick.
an election.
Okay,
Who you
wait.
got? Who you got?
What is the
Andreen, who do you got? Take a
Medvedev
bet.
breaks back. Breaks back. Breaks back.
Reels, who you got?
I'm saying they stole an election. They could an Olympics. They could steal a tennis match. I'm here for Medvedev.
Take it. Take it. Take it.
Man, listen. Rafa steps up to the service line. He's already done all of his shit. There goes the ball into the net.
Okay.
Medvedev's going to get a second serve.
Yes. Come on. Get that return. Get
He's
that
wiping all of the things and picking all of the butts. He's bouncing all of the balls. Up goes the ball, the serve, and great return. Medvedev's in it. Rafa's trying to just pound that forehand. Backhand, cross court. Medvedev. Ooh, short ball. That was bad. Shouldn't have done that. Oh, and it lands out. Yep.
Oh,
He got punished by hitting that short ball.
oh no. So
And it's deuce.
we're at deuce. Rafa's trying. Rafa's trying to create excitement. You know Rafa's matches aren't exciting. How do you make this happen?
Medvedev, I want all these celebrities to go home feeling like shit.
Oh, you can't do that. They felt like shit yesterday.
And here's what's gonna happen. My hope is that when they feel like shit, they're gonna complain and say, "I've wasted my money. Y'all need to do better next
What
year."
they
And
need. They
US
need
Open
that
next year is gonna
moment.
be wonderful.
No, it's not going to be wonderful. Deuce.
You know what? I'm telling you, Coco Gauff is
Oh,
gonna win
drop
next year.
shot. Medvedev does not get there. Rafa has another break point.
No, not Rafa. Rafa.
Rafa has
I mean, a
a
match point. This
Match
is match point 11,572,065.
I'm not
Yes,
watching
it's the same one. You hear this, my child? Mom, is that the same one? Yes, it's the same.
Rafa getting all
Oh,
he can have from
Jesus.
Ned in accounting.
No, there was no restart, dear. This is the same match from 5 hours ago.
He did it. Oh, Rafa
He-
finally wins a match he deserves.
How did you get that before me? And I'm watching supposedly live TV. Oh, so congratulations, Rafa and Nadal won another U.S. Open.
Yeah, I think Rafa is any better.
No, I think Rafa. Well, I'm not allowed to say what I really think.
You can say what you really think. This is our podcast.
Anyway, the match is over. Moving on to the ladies.
Rafa finally wins a competitive match.
Oh, I'm not rooting for Medvedev as opposed to I'm rooting against Rafa.
No, I was rooting for Medvedev. I thought it would have been really nice.
Yeah, that too.
Can
But
we just
anyway,
take a
moving on.
moment?
Can we take a moment?
We have to lay to rest Medvedev's body for the rest of the season because we know what happens when you play Rafa for 5 sets.
That's done. That body is over.
Oh, and you know what's so funny? Rafa's going to be springing. Actually, no.
I know.
No. I call the end of Rafa's
This
season
mofo
now.
he gonna show up to London like, yeah.
This is the time. This is the year Rafa has to finally win the year-end championship. It has to be this year.
I mean, it's kind of a junk season too, so probably.
This
I
has
mean,
to be the year. If you can't win it this year,
well, you've got like a broken Nole, probably a broken Fed, and then a bunch of newbies. That probably is a good opportunity for him.
If Medvedev could have kept his nerves under control in the beginning, we might have had a different ending.
No,
well,
but
he
you
had
know
the
what?
chance.
But right now, I just need to cry.
But you know what? So proud of him. So, listen, Medvedev.
I'm tired of being proud of people for putting up a fight. Win, goddammit.
Listen. Medvedev took our favorite reanimated tennis player whose body comes back better than every year.
Oh God, these
Five
fight a
sets.
warrior narrative. Oh, Jesus, set this air, clear this air,
Listen,
clear this air.
look, this is what I'm gonna tell you. I'm doing all tennis mutes for the next 2 days, for the next week. I'm muting it because
You know what? This
I
US
can't deal with
Open more than
Bianca.
anything
I can't
else.
deal with the Bianca storyline, the creation of the new Serena. I got to get rid of that off my timeline.
Oh my god.
Rafa Nadal at 19. The question is, what is going to happen next year? Next year, the thing is, Nole is going to come and get 3 so he can tie your asses up. And it's just going to be the whole mess.
Rafa got to get off court before a trophy ceremony? What's he got to do? Take a piss? Yeah, maybe. Anyway.
Stop it. Listen, let's be nice. Let's be nice. Rafa, congratulations to Rafa. May this be your last slam. But I said that last year and you want to get No, but I mean, so Rafa closes out the decade the same way the decade started. The big three squashing the youngins, killing careers left and right. That's what the big 3 is doing.
And this is the funny thing. This is the closest one of these young Chirunas ever got to.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
But
yeah.
Medvedev,
Pay attention, Zverev, Dominic team. Pay the fuck attention.
Nicholas Kyrgios.
Oh, they're gonna go get the girl.
which girl?
Whatever. I don't know.
Wait, the fake girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe.
When the
I
third
don't
signal
know.
is searched, they'll come
Listen, ESPN has already cut away from the tennis. They're on to baseball. See,
Yeah,
they've
let's
moved
move
on
on.
quickly, and so should we.
Let's move on. Okay, so let's go back to the ladies. So the ladies proved to be surprising to you all, or no?
Oh my god! Like
No.
everybody dropped by flies at the beginning. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I got right was the Coco and Osaka match that y'all told me wasn't happening, but it happened.
Oh
A
God!
broken clock is right once, twice a day.
I knew this bitch was gonna bring this back to us.
I mean, I
That's
did.
about the only thing she's right about, right?
No, that's not true. I had Medvedev going deep.
She was right about that, and I was wrong because I said I had a good feeling about the U.S. Open. I don't know what that feeling was. Probably.
The feeling was Federer was playing great until his fucking back went. And then, I mean, I did have Serena in the final, like always. I did not have Andreescu with her, but whatever.
I was. I think
For me,
I think the women's side again was the interesting side
absolutely.
this time around. I think.
For me, the most interesting thing didn't have anything to do with our winner or finalists. I was far more interested in watching Coco and Taylor Townsend. That was the most fun part of the entire. What?
Black Girl Magic hashtag.
Oh yeah. And I tweeted the hell out of that and used it often. But for me, that was the highlight of the tournament on either side. It was fun. It made me excited about the future of women's tennis, American women. So I loved it. I mean, I loved it. And then because Taylor, every time Taylor is in a main draw, we hear about how the USTA did her fucking dirty as all hell. It comes up every single time. But because she got so deep into this tournament and she beat the names that she beat, it really got out there. So now everybody can see. And you know what I wish? First of all, I was talking with Sean this morning and we both agreed, like, seriously, could she be any more beautiful? She's gorgeous. Like, her face is just like, wow. She is just purely beautiful. She is gorgeous. She has a smile that just like brights up the world. I love it. But anyways, she, you know, I want for her to, I understand why she's with the young camp, but she needs to leave. She needs to move on. I think that's that would be a great move for her career. I don't know why you stay with a coach before or well when their own child who he's not doing anything, right? Like, so
but I mean, why wouldn't you? First and foremost, you're answering the question that you just posed. She trusts him. They have
she
never
does trust
abandoned.
him.
They've never abandoned her. And you know what?
I think it's time to elevate.
But the form that got her to make these match wins came from the work with them. What I want is I want her to have opportunities. That's what I want. If it's the coach, I mean,
maybe it's not
to the coach, right?
Well, maybe it's not leaving a coach, but maybe it's finally being able to add some people to your team. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
Yeah.
I think that she may have put herself in a position to elevate her. But I also want to point something out. So, here we have this young Black woman not in the player development program with the USTA, right? With Taylor Townsend.
Yeah.
And we have Coco Gauff, who also is doing amazing things and makes us excited. She is 15 years old. Where does she train? Patrick Martoglu's academy. She also is not with them.
Hello, Black people running to France.
Well, you know what? And hello, USTA, fucking step up and take care of your own.
Well, they take care of the ones they want to.
That they want to. So speak into your microphone, sir.
I am speaking into my microphone.
Well,
America's
you're right, but they should be. They should be.
I mean, look at the fact there's no American men around really of word or substance.
Well, I think they think they're developing.
I mean,
well, I think they think they are
because they have been. If you consider, they have been lucky in the 90s, right, into the early 2000s with Agassi, with Sampras, with Chang, with Korea. And they
but it was
came
all
out
their
in
parents.
and Connor. But
all their parents.
Their
parents were all involved, if you notice.
Right. Those people's parents were all involved. But also, I think for those people, they're just lucky they could have been anywhere, right? And America thought they would never run out of talent. So there was no reason to go out in the highways and the byways and get people involved. Look for people and develop talent. So they really don't know how to develop talent at all. Look who they had running the program. The McEnroe brothers. Jesus Christ.
I know.
They can't even get some notes together to come on TV and talk about a player in front of them. Just imagine them giving them a classroom full of people and telling them, teaching them something. So
I think her ranking now is up. Taylor's ranking is now what? Up to, I'm looking at it and it says that her ranking is now 116, which means I think it gives her a chance to enter into slams, no?
Yeah, direct entry.
Yeah,
and if she plays a couple more things, at the end of the year, she'll be even higher for Australia. So that will be good. But I love it. I love what it means for young people. I love seeing, people on Twitter, like Maya was saying, she had people in her family calling her to ask if Coco was playing, or, people asking that don't typically ask about tennis. That's what we need for the sport. That's what we want for the sport. And I think that some people need to recognize who is bringing that excitement, because it's not your Isners or white Coco.
Well, can we talk about that a little bit though? Because I mean, is it like, because even the Taylor storyline, I think they're on regular TV, not sports. Is it just the phenomenon of having a teenager? Because we've had teenagers, but there's something specific and special about Coco. It seems to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think it was interesting because I've been watching, I'm one of those people that was excited for Coco, wanted to see her, wanted to get around and be on the grounds and catch her matches. And I was thinking about how I was surprised by how much she had caught a fire. Because I think I started to wonder if it was possible for people to actually be excited by tennis players anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I was looking around and I thought to myself, well, then you know what? They're hungry to be excited for someone. It's just that the people have been putting forward, or the WTA have been putting forward, the ATP, they're not doing it. There is room for excitement. And Coco has kind of proven that, whether you like her or not, disagree with her age or her playing, or there's actually genuine excitement, and people crawled over things to see her. All of her matches were the highest rated matches because people had just a general interest. and it was covered in the evening news. I was heading to bed, and that she was the final story on the evening news.
And Taylor was a story often on the news, you know. They were I saw their stories on my local news and national news, as well as leading stories on the sports news. For once, tennis was on the news for all of the right reasons, and it was exciting. It was nice to see. We don't get to see that very often. Usually it's because somebody's acting a fool or somebody's getting fucked over.
That's true. And then tennis always looks like it's not ready for prime time in those moments.
Yes.
People are always like, what kind of backward sport is this?
Right.
And then host.
And then I have to explain it, and everybody's always like, okay.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So, I mean, for me, that was the most exciting thing of the whole tournament. I'm excited to see, you know, I think Taylor used this opportunity to put out some passive aggressive messaging that typically I wouldn't be a fan of, but in this case I absolutely am. And she pretty much said, you know, well, she said, I'm buying all the buildings it was a Drake lyric that basically said, I'm buying all the buildings of those that shut doors on me, which, you know, says, fuck you, USTA. I made it on my own without you. I'm here for it. Send out all the goddamn messages. I am here for it. I mean, I want to see them do well. I'm appreciative of the fact that I did not hear, at least yet, it's the next Serena. It's the next Venus. For now, they're allowed to be Coco and Taylor. And I like that too, because we'll never have another Serena, another Venus, another Rafa, another Roger, another Novak. Let people be who they're going to be. You know, if that's who they look up to, hey, that's great. They should. Why wouldn't they, right? Those are the heroes of the sport right now, but let's not try to put them up on a pedestal so big that the tiniest little mistake just takes them crumbling to the ground so fast. You know, let's not do that. Let's be happy for their progress and let them develop slowly and enjoy the ride. Because as long as Taylor Townsend has been around, she's only 21. When we first
23.
heard her name, or 23, when we first heard her name and the USTA did her so damn dirty, she was only 16 years old.
Wow. Coco's age. Imagine
Coco's not even 16 yet.
I know, but imagine someone telling Coco that. Like this, we forget that. Like that's like a huge developmental hurdle that I think has really set Taylor back. And so, I mean, it's amazing. And we let this white dude do it, and he's still doing it. He's still like seen as a professional. He's still given responsibility over young people. And so that's really crazy. Like when you think about it in stark terms, like to take the number one junior. Yeah, you might not like her body, you might not like what's happening, but she's still showing you the results. So you just shut your mouth and eat your food, right? Just let her do what she needs to do. But no, he decided he needed I think he wanted to try to train her how to be, right? And instead, I think really derailed her, unfortunately. But so, yeah, that was actually really fun to watch and see. How was her match against Andreescu? She seems to have been able to do more than Serena was.
she was. I watched it. It was fun. The best thing about that match for me was, okay, so Taylor came out and she played her game immediately. She served and she volleyed, and Andreescu said, I ain't playing this shit with not today. And she totally took her game away from her. It did not work. Taylor kept trying it. She kept trying it, but it just wasn't working. And she made an adjustment, and that's how she won set 2. So that was great. It was great to see. She wasn't stubborn about it. You could tell she was out there thinking. And in set 2, when she won that set, she played way more from the baseline. So she clearly has an all court game with a preference. And I didn't feel like when I was watching it, both players had highs and lows, but there was plenty of time where they were both playing, at a high level, and it was just who got the better of the other on the big points. So that was really, really nice to see. Taylor could have won that match. I don't know why she didn't. I didn't feel like Andreescu. like stepped way up and she just couldn't handle it. It was just like little things, little mistakes that will come with maturity. But she was in there the whole time. She did everything right. She really did. And it just didn't work out for her this time.
That's too bad. But
I wish she had, because I would have been happier that Townsend could have snatched that.
I wanted an all-black girl Magic final for sure.
You're horrible.
And it's right. And I mean, like Pablo just mentioned, you look at all the money Pat McEnroe has milked out of the USTA and what he has achieved. Nothing. And in fact, he had to leave under, I think it was a Claudio scandal where he was stepped down as the president, but I think they hushed that up and wrote that differently. But it's because they were mishandling the money and nothing was there. The USTA literally still have nothing to show for it.
I know.
Nothing to show.
I mean, buildings.
I mean, seriously.
The new building. A horrible building, by the way, which we can now understand that apparently the design of Ash and Armstrong, somebody's going to die in one of those.
Yep.
Someone's going to die.
They're gonna have to get people with medical clearance in order to come into that tournament.
Someone is going to die in one of these like houses because they're not designed with proper ventilation.
Hi, Maya. I think that's
like y'all been live for over 30 minutes.
Yeah, man. We quit. We quit that.
We watched the end of the match live. Okay.
Janina did.
You got to hear my play calling abilities. Well, I don't think they're so sharp.
But nonetheless, it was nice and refreshing that was a story there. And of course, I know y'all think this was a refreshing story, but when people look at the meat of the matter now, they're like, oh, tennis, what would have been an amazing story for tennis has an ugly switch with the Taylor Townsend story, right? So tennis still can't be nice.
Well,
you know what I mean? It just shows time and time again. Whenever it comes to players of color, particularly in the USTA side, there is just utter and unadulterated, diluted disrespect.
They're tragic.
Pablo said he was fired for poor performance in other undisclosed matters. Who is he talking about? Patrick?
No. He said that's what I said. Yeah, because he had to, because I think it was in 2015 or 14. I think it was. He pulled this emergency press conference and said, he's stepping down, and it was because he wasn't producing any, and then he made this bullshit statement like, but this is America, we're gonna do American tennis. It's gonna be big forehand and big serve. Bitch. Y'all have people doing, and y'all can't serve on volley on the court. You've literally built a top pit for Nadal.
I know.
And then talking about big forehand and serve. That game can't work.
That's what I thought was really funny. I don't understand that. I've never understood that.
Cole Schreiber, I know that shit don't work. But you got that is.
But this is the thing. You keep slowing down the U.S. Open surface that works against the things that you think
you American men
do well, which is big forehand and a big serve. That doesn't help on a surface like this. When you have Rafa Nadal having the most hardcore slams on your USO surface, that's not a traditional hardcore surface. I don't care what you say. You can't get an American man in the second week. That's not the kind of surface that you want. So, or any of the young kids who actually play a game. Like, I mean, if you looked at the match between Medvedev and Dimitrov, the court gave Dimitrov nothing to work with.
Nope.
For all of his sort of adventurous shot making and coming in and trying to take possession of the forecourt, nothing was helping him. Medvedev was like, I'm just going to grind it out back here and get balls by you. And there was just no way to put away any ball, which is exactly what was happening in this final. You saw until Medvedev was finally able to. He didn't change up his game like he did against Nole, when he kept rushing the net. He served big, but this time he was just outgrinding Rafa. That's what that match was. 5 sets of that and a US Open surface. And I know people are going to talk about how amazing the match is and they're going to love it, which means that there's going to be no incentive to changing it. As much as I hear people talk about how much they love Taylor Townsend's style, They're not going to change the court. They're not going to change the court to help to give her any hand either.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's the point of talking about how much you loved her game style when you're basically going to continue next year, probably going to toss some more sand on this court so that we can have a grind fest between Nole and Rafa, I guess, next year to see who's the best of them all, I guess. So, no, I mean, I think it's a sort of strange mix, but I think we've avoided it long enough. You all watched the final.
Well, no, I did not.
I watched no, I did not.
You know what I was pissed at in that final? That the French woman fucked up on the last shooting. That's what I was mad when that final was.
Shut up. Yeah. So I went to the I went to the semifinals. I went to the women's semifinals. Now, just to let you know, my friend and I go to the semifinals practically, I think, almost every year. And every time I've invited her, we happen to get Serena in the semifinal, and she watches Serena lose. So we developed this notion that she's like a jinx, because I think we saw Serena lose to Coppless. We saw Serena lose the Vinci match. So she was totally triggered. So we get into the match, and she's like, wait, is this Svitolina? Is this the Svitolina I saw last year against Madison Keys? I was like, yes. So she was expecting a tough match.
Oh my God. I was expecting a tough match. I thought that was going to be a lot closer. Serena made Svitolina look like a fucking amateur. That was just weird. Svitolina was not playing poorly. She just couldn't handle it. Serena was just so much better at everything. I mean, like, her 2 matches leading up to that final had me. I mean, I said it. I think she might be ready. She might be ready to finally get, to 24.
But I don't understand, because there has been nothing in the other final that she in the other lead up to the last.
No, but we have not seen Serena play this well in 2 years. We have not seen it. This was something different. She was on a whole different level. She was just like, holy shit, snatching wigs. She has not played this well.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
Where
because
did
I
she
think
play this well?
I am look.
Tell me.
But here's the point of the issue. You see, y'all are making it seem as if Serena's performance in the finals, or lack thereof, was something to do with the fact that she wasn't match ready and it's tennis problem. But what has been quite clear from the beginning, her losing these finals has nothing to do with her tennis. Our inability to play
but
tennis,
when you play
because
better,
she got to the finals.
But I think when you play better,
you don't win 6 matches and then show up in the final. It's not. She wasn't exhausted. She didn't complain about any of these things unnecessarily in a real injury. It was not the tennis. I had the question for me was never whether Serena could get to the final. The question is always what she would do when she gets to the final.
You are correct. And I don't disagree with that at all. I don't disagree that it's a mental issue. But when you are playing tennis like she's playing, it does suggest that maybe your head is in the right place finally, because she hasn't looked this good. Yeah, she's made it to finals, but she's played some serious struggle tennis to get there. We haven't seen her just wipe people up that late in a tournament. We may have seen it in the beginning part of a tournament, but I mean, she treated Svitolina like a fucking rag doll.
Svitolina gave up. Svitolina gave up in that match.
Wait. But also, that's true. But also thinking about Wimbledon, you didn't think that Serena played well up until the final?
I did, but I don't think she played this well. She looked really good this tournament. She looked really good. She looked really good in Canada. And then her back went all jacked up.
I think the lesson we have to learn is that, as a little bit of what Reels is saying, is that it's not the X's and O's. It doesn't matter how good she looks.
I do think that
line.
But I do think your game reflects your mentality on some level. Well, if your head is all over the place, you're more likely to play that sloppy tennis. We saw it as soon as the final started. I can't even say that because I didn't see it all. Full disclosure.
Yeah, here's the problem.
But I was the problem with it. Hold on. We know that when her head isn't there and she's nervous and whatever's going on, she's not moving, she's not serving well, and all of those things happen. But we saw the buildup to her getting to these finals previously, she didn't look as good as she has looked in the last month. And that's just reality. So I was hoping that her play and her level of play being good and being reminiscent of what we're used to was an indication that she had finally got her head straight. That's what I'm getting.
Here's the thing. I mean, Andre, I'm gonna let you talk.
No, go.
But in my mind,
No, speak.
Serena is listening to this podcast right now, and she thinks half of y'all are being
I
foolish
think that's what
with all of this talk. But I just gonna say this because the issues that Serena, the issues in the final, quote unquote, issues in the final, um, are from the jump, from the first ball. Serena is problematic, right? From the first, I think in all four she served first, and she was already in trouble. I don't think this has anything to do with tennis. I don't think it's postpartum and all of this shit because if postpartum ain't showing up for 6 rounds, I don't know why it's not showing up for round 7. I don't know why. Or why she can't compartmentalize and deal with it. Serena came, I think this is the first time she came anywhere close to, actually, she didn't come close to winning a set, but she played the most. Most games was played in the last set, right? None of these, they were all straight sets of affairs. None of them had looked where she had been served for it or had a break led anywhere. I don't think she had a led any of them. Maybe just once and then soon got broke. I think when she was leading on going somewhere, what's his name? Carlos Ramos gave away the match with a breakdown or something. And again, I don't think it's tennis. My question that I'm wondering is that what I've noticed ever since 2015 with Roberta Vinci, that semifinal, is that Serena's career now is taking on something completely different. It's no longer a tennis match. It's no longer a tennis record that she's trying to achieve, like, achieve greatness in her sport. Apparently, people are trying to help Serena achieve greatness for humanity, to end racism, to kill cancer, to stop climate change. It means so much. Everyone is invested in it. And they invested in not in Serena playing a tennis match, but not in Serena playing good tennis, not in Serena doing something tennis wise. They're only invested in Serena winning. They're not concerned about Serena as a person because everyone is talking about postpartum, why she gonna have a baby, why did she go here, why did she do this, she needs to play here, whatever the case may be. No one's genuinely asking Serena, is she okay? Is she all right? I'm sure her team is asking that. But from the public, from the outside perspective, everyone wants this win. I don't know why, because it would mean nothing. For me, the only thing I'm sorry, I don't necessarily like the people who she's giving away. Or let me correct that. I think she should give it if she's giving away finals, because here's the thing: Serena's giving these young children finals, trophies, and Rafa's breaking young people's bodies. But I'm just saying, if Serena's being this generous, girl, I got a list of people you could be generous to. Starting with Venus.
They gotta get
but they gotta get to the finals too, right? They gotta get there. So I'm just simply saying, right? You people need to do your job and get to the finals. Serena has a fire sale, right? She's giving away majors, and y'all need to get y'all ass in the finals. But putting that shit aside, I really think people need. The question really is: Serena has 23 majors. No, this constant talk about it being 24 and what it would mean, and breaking Margaret Court record, which isn't a record.
I know.
But Serena could have had 27 majors by now, right? That she won all 4, which she was supposed to do, right? She literally has the tennis to beat all these people. Because here's the thing why I don't believe it's a tennis issue. Because Serena's C-level game tennis can beat these women at the very least, take them to a third set.
I know.
Serena's C-level tennis can take the title still. Only if she's injured or hampered, there's a question where she might be losing these things. There is no woman on tour who can take the racket out of Serena's hand. None of them. Vika can do it for like a set and so, but when Serena decided to turn into Serena, it's a different story, right? But I'm just simply saying it's something else. And I think the question, it's a personal thing because to me, my theory is that Serena is just like, she gets to the final and she's just like, what am I here for? What is this for? I win another one, and what would it mean? It doesn't mean anything. And certainly, the way people characterize her winning 24 Because you know what's gonna happen is Serena won 24-27. Here's what's gonna come out. She's gonna have to still defend her femininity. She's gonna have to defend her humanity. She's gonna have to defend her race. She's gonna have to defend her husband. She's gonna have to defend her existence, her tennis. She has to defend all of these things. And we have not found a way of addressing any of these issues. When people talk about Serena, the same to the people who are in control and the newspaper and whatever the case may be, we have not addressed it. Serena pulled out of the finals of Cincinnati, not Canada, or whatever it was. She had back injury. What was the conversation? This classless bitch. Look like she spoiled Andreescu shit, whatever the case may be. We still go on about the fact that she spoiled Naomi Osaka's moment. No one can say how, no one can say why. Because the fact that I don't know how you could spoil someone's moment when you left with a trophy in the chest. I don't know how you could spoil someone's moment. Naomi Osaka won the Australian Open and looked the very same way. She is uncomfortable in the spotlight, and that's fine. But y'all won't let that, y'all won't accept that. And I think for Serena, she gets to these finals and she's just like, I don't really care. Because it doesn't mean anything.
I agree with everything that you're saying except for the I don't care part. I don't think that's true at all.
Well, obviously she might care more.
If she didn't care, she wouldn't be playing.
Or she would.
You don't do that well and get to a final to not care.
I
don't buy that even
for
what I half of a wooden nickel.
Recently, I have been remembering an incident, a conversation, I think between you and Tony. So when Serena got pregnant, she took a picture and she was in front of a pile of trash or something. And I was just like, why does Serena look bummy? She came out of the house looking like that. And I think either you or Tony made the joke to be like, oh no, she's looking on the pile of trash of the WTA. And the fact of the matter that Serena gets to the final. Serena had what? Less than a year after giving birth. Serena got to the finals of Wimbledon. Isn't that defining her greatness? Just getting to the final?
No.
People needed a win?
Come on, stop. This is an elite athlete. She wants to win. Of course she wants to win. To say that she doesn't want to say that she doesn't want to win is just disrespectful. Come on.
It is not disrespectful because here's the thing.
I think what it's admitting to is that the complexity of the moment. I think it's the idea that just because she's playing means that she ultimately wants everything. It's unclear what she actually wants, and maybe that's partly what's going on.
No, I don't think it's unclear at all. The fact that she's playing should be an indication that she wants it. You know what? No. She has nothing left to prove. She is rich for the next 5 generations of her family. She's not playing for money. She's not, that's not the issue. She has other things that she can do. She is a wife. She is a mother. She is a business owner. She has her hands in all kinds of things. She no longer needs tennis to support her life financially or anything. None of that.
She never needed that for ages.
She hasn't needed that for years.
Exactly. And she's still playing. So I think it's just ridiculous to say that she's doing it for any other reason other than the fact that she wants to play tennis.
I mean, she clearly wants to play tennis. She's coming out, she's training and whatever. My point is that I don't think she necessarily wants to win these majors because it doesn't change anything.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I'm confused about a couple of the theories that I've been seeing pushing around Serena, which is that I've seen a theory on my timeline that Serena is it's obviously it's post-pregnancy Serena that we're experiencing, but it doesn't make sense to me because the problem is only showing up in the final.
Yep.
It's not showing up the 6 matches previous. It's the last match. How is the last match where all of her challenges post-pregnancy is coming up? And it's interesting. For me, the biggest problem is that in the Serena storytelling, nobody talks about the fact that Serena is not herself in the final. Nobody talks about the fact that her serving percentage is down, that her return game is off.
Didn't she serve at like 43%?
It was 44%. And I saw a headline that said that Bianca Andreescu found Serena's best and countered it. She countered Serena's best. How do you make a headline like that after seeing that match and seeing what Serena is capable of in the semifinals and then noticing that she's markedly different in the finals? My biggest pet peeve, to be honest, is the idea that these girls are encountering Serena at her best and they're beating her at her best. And therefore they are somehow representative of this new thing that's going to emerge where they're going to go on and win a bunch of slams, which has not proven to be the case for many of them. So it's just like, I just feel like we're not having an honest conversation about maybe, I don't know, historically, I don't know if any other champion has encountered this moment where they have this like uphill battle. Like on the men's side, we don't see it. They just enjoy that chase. They're going back and forth with each other. But Serena really doesn't have any other person that we can use to contrast her to. Right?
Well, no, and maybe that's, but I don't know. I get what is being said. I understand it. I agree with it. I don't know that it's 100% being said correctly. I don't think we should ever say that Serena doesn't want to win finals. I think that's or Grand Slam.
I'm saying that.
I think that's all she wants, which is why she tries to warm up real quick and only play Grand Slams. I mean, she's played 8 tournaments all year. We've got 4 Grand Slams. What's that tell you? She's playing right before and she's going to the Grand Slam. It's not enough anymore. She's older.
Well, she's 30 she has to manage her body differently.
She does, but I think she probably needs to play a little bit more if she wants to win. And like I said before, I think if she starts playing and winning smaller tournaments, it will give her the confidence to win the big one.
This is not a confidence issue.
I don't think I can.
How can you say it's not a confidence issue? She's getting to the final and she's losing. What else is it? It's something in her head. You don't think confidence is any of that?
Why would you?
I don't think it's confidence.
I don't.
What do you want to call it?
Because
I think honestly, I mean, this is obviously fake. I don't know. I'm not in Serena's head. None of us are. But Serena is managing her confidence enough through. She's showing up at slams and getting
right, and she's getting to the final, and it's like fucking gone.
Exactly. But
why is it not a confidence issue?
Because it's not a confidence in the final. It's not that Serena doesn't think that she can match up with these girls. That's not what it's about. It's obviously more than about.
No, she's battling herself. She loses confidence that she's going to go ahead and take that title because now it's been 4 times in a row that she's gotten there and she hasn't been able to seal the fucking deal. I'm not saying she isn't confident that she can beat the player. Of course she is. She doesn't have confidence in herself that she can close the deal. That's I don't know. Maybe I'm using the wrong word. This just all sounds like so incredibly crazy to me.
But here's the thing. She's not even close. She's not even close to closing anything. She's not even close to closing all that set. So
confident people don't behave that way.
But this is.
I don't know if you know what it is. I get what you're saying. I don't know if the word I would use is confidence. I think achieving 24 means certain things to Serena that we don't understand, which is making it for like, if you think about your own personal goals, we've all put goals ahead of ourselves. And when we're approaching them, we feel a certain kind of way about them. I don't know what that is for Serena. I don't know what 24 represents to her. I don't know if it represents an achievement that means that then she has nowhere else to go. I don't know if she wonders if she gets it, that the energy for staying on tour will dissipate. I don't know what that is. Something is clearly representational for her. And I think she's trying to figure it out too, because you could tell in her press conference, like this last press conference, I thought was the most personal she has been about these losses. She's disappointed in herself. She has excuses for the past ones, right? She talked about the fact that the Angie one makes sense because she was just given birth and she felt like even she herself was sluggish in body, right? And then I think, and then the Osaka one, I think she was probably going to work her way back into that match, and we'll see. We never will know because of how that turned out. Right. And then you've got the Halep match, which is, I think, the place where we really get to see. I think the Halep match is actually sort of more of the definitive one.
You do? Because Halep actually, Halep played really well.
She did, but
even though Serena's better than her, but she was frozen. She was frozen, but Halep played the match of her life. She'd never faced that Halep before. Yeah, and sometimes in a final or anywhere, that can be enough to throw you off.
It can a little bit, but I think that was a little bit of like, you know what? There's a rationale for the other two. The Halep match, yes, fine. But Serena's encountered strong players and strong people before in a match. She says they always bring their best. And she knew Halep had the experience of winning already a slam. So it was not going to be that Halep anymore. So I think it's something is definitely clear to Serena that some shift is happening, right? She's already admitted that she went to a therapist post the Naomi match. Maybe it's because of all the other things, but it might have actually just been the fact that she didn't feel like she was performing well in that match either. So it's clear to me that Serena's like, I don't know what I need to do to turn on. She's like, I'm disappointed in this match because I didn't play up to my level. I didn't play up to my capacity. I know people read that and thought it was not classy. I thought it was very honest. But I know you can't say that you didn't play your best for people. They get upset about it. But it's true. If people thought that was Serena's best, I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, they know damn well it wasn't Serena's best. I mean, yeah, because she served like shit. She was error strewn. They know. They just want... I cannot stand this fucking era of tennis where when you lose, all they want you to do is talk about how great the other player was. No, bitches, you lost because I didn't play my best. And honestly, Serena could go into every press conference and say that, except for, Derek Edwardson in the chat just said, and I agree that Halep match was on a whole different level. She had 3 errors the entire match. Yeah. I mean, that's just unheard of. So I don't know. I agree with that.
Serena was making all the others.
No, she made enough for a few matches.
She tightened her game. I mean, there was no moment. Halep didn't look like the Halep we know, right? Which is like, I'm scared of this moment. Halep looked like she had a plan.
Halep was ready. Halep know that this girl was going to give her the title, and why waste time and sit around?
Well, there is a huge piece of this that we're missing, and it is very, very important, and we have to visit it. So fucking shady. So we need to talk about the fact that when Serena and Maria played, that her Serena's doting husband, who I love more now than I ever thought I imaginable, wore a shirt to that match.
What does that have to do with this?
I know,
because I just want to talk about it.
Oh, she wanted to move on. Okay,
I'm ready to move on.
Okay.
He had on the shirt, the Dare shirt, and there I know were some foreign listeners or Twitter people, whatever, that didn't know what that meant. The Dare program is a program that spans across the United States for children in the elementary school area, is where they go through a program, and it's about saying no to drugs and peer pressure, but the biggest thing is drugs. So it was shady as fuck that Alexis had that shirt on, and I didn't know it. I didn't catch it during the match, and I wondered why after Serena won, he was buttoned up to the neck. Like, I think he was aware that there was clearly going to be a lot of cameras on him, so he was very subtle about it, and he had it open during the match and a little bit, but when he knew for sure cameras were going to be on him, he covered that shit up. But that was a direct hit at say no to drugs, in that my wife is playing a fucking doper right now, and I loved it. I loved how shady that was. It was brilliant, and I was like, check you out.
I didn't even get it. Janina explains it to me. She's like, the Dare shirt, and I'm like, huh? And I'm like,
oh man, that was classic. Because you know what? Where did he even get that shirt? Where did he get that shirt? Like, he searched for that shirt, okay? You can't just get your hands on one of those.
He found it in 4 days.
Man,
he got money. He can get one printed up for him. So,
but you know what I appreciated about it is, first of all, I appreciated the shocked reaction from people, and I was like, "Why are people shocked? She's a doper." I know it's like a thing that people don't mention, but she is a doper. It's like her thing. It's what they've done. It's what
Maria was on holiday and she came back from holiday.
I know.
Since she came back, and nobody's saying where she's back from. You know what I mean? We can't talk about that. We talk about the shoulder surgery, which happened in 2006, 2007. Jesus Christ, people.
Well, but I mean, so let's actually talk about that match. Let's talk about that first match. Where does Maria go from here, y'all? Is she still hanging around?
If Serena stands, if the people who are invested in Serena winding up getting number 24, What they need to do is figure out a way to get Maria in the finals because I assure you,
Well,
I
let's be
assure you,
honest.
That might
all
that might be the final time that Serena.
that's the thing y'all need to be. That's who needs to be across the net. Because Venus, if Venus works her way into a final and Serena disrespects her and wins that final, we're gonna have problems. We're gonna have problems.
Oh man, listen.
Mm-mm.
Maybe that's what we need, though. Maybe we need to give Serena Venus across the net. She doesn't seem to feel generous. But no, but listen, guys, can we talk about how pissed Vika must be? I said this to Reels the
Oh,
other day.
God.
How pissed is Vika that this is the Serena these chicks are getting in finals?
Mhm.
Vika,
For
what
2
about
years,
what's
she
her
was like
name?
toe to
Yelena
toe.
Yankovic. Yelena Yankovic had one shot. One shot. The Mencheva is just like, where was this happening in the semis?
Oh my
Where?
God, right?
Why couldn't I get this in the semis?
You know what though? Although I have to say, I mean, we could close out the Serena piece, but I feel like what we have to do is we have to think about Serena as like that she's in like a second phase of her career. It's like Serena's a
More
newbie
like
again.
fourth.
Or yeah, right, fourth. It's like Serena point 4, right? This is the fourth phase. You know when you're a new champ and you're getting to finals, but you just can't get over the hill. We almost have to think about this as like maybe that's what this is. This is like new Serena, like new
I
Serena
just think for me,
reborn.
me personally, I just think that Serena hasn't figured out what winning another major, what it would mean,
Gonna do for her. Yeah.
and what
I
it's gonna
mean,
do for her.
I like that idea. I like the idea that she's trying to
And she
figure
does,
it out.
and there is no real because for
I mean,
people
what if
that
in her mind she has it locked in, like if I get to Margaret Court, I'm done. And she doesn't want to be done. So she keeps
that
not
might be
being
another
done.
thing too. And first of all, she keeps wondering, who the fuck is this Margaret Court bitch? Why are we talking about her? Because she was never a thing when I was working my way up. And here's the thing that I think people need to understand. The WTA, I think they asked a question at some point. I don't know if it was in the finals or sometime before that. They asked her who her rivals were. She noted they left off the criminal Jennifer Capriati, as Petty Me would do. But she mentioned all the other people, the Kleisers, the NN, the Davenport, the Inges. And to be honest, the closest person to Serena on tour is Venus with 7. Serena has no competitor. There's no one. These girls barely look like they could even because Joe Andrescu and Halep and whatever the case may be. Y'all know if they get Serena catch these girls in a semis or quarterfinals like you did Osaka, she's gonna handle that business. So these women are not playing competitive tennis against Serena.
Well, not even to mention, she's twice their age.
Mhm.
Literally. More
But-
than.
But still, none of these rising star in the WTA are rising long enough to stick around or stay in the top. Madison Keys keeps flittering in and all. Well, not Madison Keys, Sloane Stevens. Look at Sloane. Nothing is wrong with Sloane tennis. You keep wondering about the motivation, right? Whether she wants it or not. I
She's
think
busy
this is-
doing well, her faux porn.
No, but you know what? No, you know what though? Listen, I think we all need to admit. I think this is one of the things. Everyone has gotten very, very spoiled.
Serena's human.
No. I just mean everyone is really spoiled at dominance. Not everyone likes it and can handle it. Not everyone wants to be chased.
Oh my God.
Not everyone. No, like not everybody.
No, I'm
wants
sorry.
to
I
be-
was reading
you
the
know?
comment. Go on.
Yeah, you're reading all the crazy comments, right, on Twitter. But no, not everybody wants that. Like, I think a few. Listen, I think everyone is approaching tennis like the Frenchies. Win a few, take a step back, have some meals, go out dancing with my friends. I don't think like it's a lot of sacrifice.
Osaka hasn't won a title this year at all. She hasn't been in other than the Australian Open. After that was it.
This is gonna be her. She gonna show up and win some slams. See, like I mean, this is the thing because everybody's telling us that Bianca is the new Serena. Which, by the way,
She's in a Rafa.
I saw Bianca play. She's not the new Serena. She's a Rafa player. She is a wonderful retriever. She manages to survive matches not playing at her even at her opponent's level. But I will say, watching her live, the one thing I noticed about her is that she knows how to dial in very key moments, like down break points. That's like I think something about her. She gets laser focus. Maybe while other players they get anxious or they get tense. For her, that's when she clicks in. Between points, not so much.
Walkabout.
Mm.
Walkabout. But that tie break, I was there with that tiebreak and Bencic, and she just was like, "I'm ready," and she was
Yeah.
just on. She was like,
Fucking
she was
Bencic.
she was fully engaged. This is why we're fucking Bencic, because Bencic, that title could have been yours, and
I
you know,
mean,
She
and
was
then
up a break in both sets.
DJ Sama, y'all know Kirby is a woman of very few words, and she done told y'all Bianca is a drama queen. So
That's right.
that's
well,
a co-worker. I'm going to take her word for it.
but
I
you know
am.
what? But Kerber said that the year she won the slam, it was a lot of attention. She was not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
The demands on her, showing up at photo shoots, doing things, having people press, all the things that surround being a champion. Not everyone. I could tell Kerber was willing to retreat the next day. She was like, "How do I get out of this position?"
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think we have to get comfortable.
Osaka showed you that too.
Exactly. She's like, I don't want the spotlight. So let's move on though. But I think the women are just gonna. I think they're just gonna trade, and then we're gonna find some. You know what? Maybe Coco is gonna be the one, or somebody else is gonna come. Amanda seems like she feels. Is that her name, Amanda Asimov?
Yeah.
She feels like
Daniel's girl.
she's hungry. Yeah. No, not her. The one whose father died and had to withdraw. Like, and the one who they were gonna call her Project Amanda. Remember?
I thought that was the one
Yeah.
Yeah, her father
Daniel
died.
liked.
No, I don't know if it's the one that Daniel liked. Daniel like Vondrasova. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's not who we're talking about.
No. No, I'm talking about the young American teen whose father died of a heart attack and then had to withdraw. She seems super hungry. I mean, Sophia. I think if Sophia won a slam, she'd want to keep going. I mean, some of them you could tell. Some of them want it and some don't. So, listen, win a slam, get some money, get some Nike gear, and take a break.
Get a boyfriend and
come
take
back around.
Instagram picture. Be an Instagram star.
Oh shit.
She's living her best life. Listen, isn't that how you would approach your job? We all have to think about this like our jobs. Are most of us like Serena at our job, or are we more like Sloan?
I know I ain't performing.
I know I'm more like Sloan at my job. Every now and then I zone into a Serena zone, but
is the money right? Is the money right? You get what you pay for.
That's right.
Get what you pay for.
That's right.
So
moving on, and
we're gonna talk about these damn men.
Wait, one second.
No. Before
so the next big match, though, that everybody was into was the Coco match. I feel like people have evolved the post-match conversation. First of all, what did y'all think of the match itself?
Which one?
The Coco versus Osaka match.
I mean, it was fine. It was fine.
No, I think this is Osaka showed the level that she can play when she wants.
Right.
And I thought that it's when it's that kind of ever so often. I guess you go back to your point about we being spoiled with dominance. I wouldn't say necessarily dominance, but we started spoiled with consistency, right? Because back in the day, it seems that the girls would be showing up in the second week, right? The Clysters, the Kenna, the Hingis, the Davenports, the Capriati, the Williams sisters. They would be in the second week, right? And I thought, like Osaka should be wanting this and whatever, but she should. And she knew this girl. She got to stop this girl. She knew she had to do that immediately because the crowd would be against her. She knew that she had to be clean, no errors, and she had to treat the game number one player in the world. And for the first time ever, I've never seen her show up on the court in a confident, manner. But she did show up in this match.
She said that. She said she was very focused in that, and
because she knew that she was. She knew that she would be shit on from all to eternity if she lost to a 15-year-old.
Oh my God!
She knew that.
I wanted her to be shit on.
No,
she knew it. She knew.
She knew it.
She was playing for street cred.
She knew. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why she was fully dialed in. But it was interesting to see what it's like for a fully dialed in Naomi, because she said usually in a match her thoughts wander, different things happen. But in that match, she was amazingly clear and very focused and dialed. Yeah,
and she said that was a goal of hers, and she said, "I didn't want to lose to her." Coco. I mean, she was very honest about it. She's like, I didn't want to lose to the 15-year-old Cinderella story. Basically, she said that. And you know what? we would have dragged her ass from here to China.
I'm gonna give Osaka some credit here. I'm gonna say Osaka,
Yeah, she did
you did
great.
the
She handled the
you did
moment.
you did the wonderful black lady thing. You didn't go out there and try to drag a black lady, your fellow black lady down.
Oh, she dragged her
You were doing it
on
for
the
the
court.
sisterhood. You were doing it for the sisterhood. You handled your business. You did it. You weren't braggadocious about it. You handled your business and you took care of your younger sister. And I
How did you
loved and
feel
appreciate
about it?
that.
How'd you
I
feel about
mean,
that after
well, when it
encore
happened in
interview?
the moment, I was like, Osaka girl, I see you because I know you wanted to basically handle the media moment because you know how this was gonna be messy. And she doesn't like the spotlight. I think she's made it abundantly clear she doesn't like the spotlight. And I thought it was a well played because it nipped the storyline that what it would have been. I think it dipped whatever bullshit messy situation it stopped it. And even when I think it was Mary Jo just like the mentor, she just like, we're not mentor. I think people didn't listen to this what she said. If people listened to what she said, they would have come up with a different take. But what she was trying to stop from happening is that one, I know in some respects she took away Coco's moments of going and crying and whatever. But I was kind of happy because she's just like, you know what, girl, don't cry. It's a tennis match. Pick yourself up and get it. And there's another match tomorrow, wherever the case may be. And Coco was fine. She played doubles the next day and won two, 3 rounds, I think it was, before Vika. The real disrespect was Vika and Ashley Barty. They won one game in that double. That
I know.
was the disrespect.
Oh, it was horrible.
Talk about some old biddies just beating up these little children. That was the disrespect. But no one got time for that, right?
No,
Osaka knew.
Osaka knew. Listen, I know what Osaka was like. Listen, these people came to see her. If I beat her ass, they're gonna hate me forever.
That's another good point as well.
I
She
need
handled
to,
a media moment.
I need to neutralize this. But no, to be honest, I already said what I didn't like it because it was clear Coco didn't want to do it. And when somebody tells you that they're not comfortable with something and they say no, take their word for it and let her walk off, because that's your right as the opponent, is to cry in quiet, in silence.
Right.
Osaka sort of told her herself when she's like, it's not good to cry in the shower. Yes, girl, you cry in the shower. That's all right.
But I for me, I'm just like, it is because I like the moment overall. That was a media savvy move.
Yeah.
But I like the moment
Yeah, I
insofar
like
because
the moment.
for me
I
it's
like the
like,
moment.
again, I'm gonna have to agree with Osaka here. It's like, girl, crying, get next time you meet, may I ask, you know what I mean? You try to beat me. You understand what I'm saying? Crying isn't gonna help. Crying is not a strategy. It's not a strategy, okay? But I hear your point about she needed a
No,
moment because she's only 15, and
and
this
also
is
she
a big
said
moment.
no, and also she said she doesn't want to cry in front of people. So you have to let people. She told you what she needed, and what she needed to do was to disappear off the court. And in her presser afterwards, she said it several times that she didn't want to be there.
Well, I kind of feel like they were going to ask to interview her anyways.
Did you?
Though, yeah, I did, because I remember when they did that to Melody Dan. Remember when she had her young Cinderella run and she
Yeah.
lost, and they wanted to interview her as a young American who kind of nobody, knew much about, and she was upset, and they wanted to interview her, and she was like, now, and they were like, yes, now, and it totally threw her off. So I kind of thought that even without Osaka pulling her on, that they were probably going to try to interview her.
Yeah.
I know that some people thought that it was orchestrated. I didn't feel that way. I think almost that I think that it may have felt that way to some people because Osaka she doesn't come off as warm and open and
No.
friendly. And I've said it a million times and I'll say it again. I think that's her culture, because
I think,
Osaka
Asian, though.
actually,
I
but
think it's her
listen,
personality.
It's a
listen, no,
personality. She's
listen.
Asian.
Her sister seems different.
You
But I
guys
think it's her
listen.
personality.
She
Go ahead.
said that she actually enjoys talking to the media, that she likes the press. She genuinely likes it. She doesn't like the attention from fans and random strangers, but she feels very comfortable in press. Those are Osaka's words. So knowing that and having heard those words come from her mouth and see her interact with the press in a setting, I didn't feel like that was orchestrated. I felt like she probably thought I can help you in this moment. But again, she doesn't come off as this warm, fuzzy, approachable person. So it just kind of it looks cringeworthy, but I think that's who she is.
Cringeworthy?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. But actually, I think that was the most appealing I'd ever encountered. Naomi was her interaction with.
Yep.
But that's just because
Yeah.
Coco's so warm and lively. I mean, I think she brings that quality out in everyone. I mean, she brought it out in her partner.
And what I loved, yes,
McNally. I mean,
Coco, get better friends. Don't be Francis. Don't be like Francis, girl. Get better friends. Get better friends.
listen,
But you know,
every black tennis player is gonna have a trumper as their friend. It's just,
yes, it's true. It is true.
Who's the
true.
trumper? What are you saying?
It's a limited supply.
McNally, apparently.
McNally, whatever her name is. But I have to say that what I loved about Coco's, that Coco Osaka moment is that Naomi looked to the parents and said, "You are raising an amazing daughter," and and she spoke about the struggle, and that we are here. Here are two black girls, well, not the Williams sisters, you know what I mean, out here doing it, and there are two other black girls that we not even mentioned, Sloan and Maddie.
Well, their families know each other. Also,
so and they've made it, and how rare it is to be from the same era, and not the same era specifically, but they come into the ranks and they're here. So I'm all for it. Hashtag Black Girl Magic.
I'm here for it too. It was great. It was great. I like it.
So overall, I guess someone has to say congratulations to Bianca. It won't be me, but
congratulations to Bianca. You won your first slam courtesy of Serena Williams. You are
Serena
one of
sale.
4.
This is the Serena major sale. It's a fire sale, ladies.
Yeah, it's like buy
get
one,
on
get
the
one.
other side and get in there, okay? So now we know the winner is gonna come from the other half where Serena is in.
One of the biggest things, and it was kind of in the chat, and we probably shouldn't talk about it because it's not very nice, but we're not always nice people. What the fuck was up with Andreescu's mother's wig?
It's a bad wig. She's not used to being in public. Now she got some more money, and they're gonna fix that wig. That wig
was
so
bad. I was like, why do they? I didn't know who she was at first. I'm like, why do they keep showing this woman that looks like this on my TV?
Yep.
Like, why do they keep going back to her? And then when I realized it was her mother, I was like, oh my god, why didn't someone help her? Someone in our chat said, is she in the witness protection program? That's how she looks.
Sure.
Look, let me tell y'all something.
At Goodwill.
Let me tell y'all something. So in
what if it's not a wig? What if it's
a wig? Here's something y'all should know about sales, right? Sale items. When you go to high-end stores and you buy something on sale, you don't get the same treatment as if you bought it in full price. So I'm just gonna say these people who taking advantage of the Serena major sale, the fire sale. I'm just gonna put a little asterisk next to their title. I'm just gonna say this until y'all snatch it from a third 3-setter. So Angie, your Australian Open is safe, but the Wimbledon girl, there's an asterisk next to that girl. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh my god!
But anyway,
listen, I caught her mom straightening the wig on camera. Oh no!
Listen,
god!
Listen, her daughter was wandering around in the junior leagues last year. Okay,
you know what? She's 19 years old.
Yeah, she's
this is her. This is her first appearance. Last year she lost in qualifying.
Yes,
and then she won. So
final.
You know what?
When that US Open check clears, mommy could stop shopping at Party City. She can go away and get herself a good Remy Brazilian. She can get herself a Brazilian.
Okay? The North.
I will congratulate Bianca because I always enjoy having a player that I can hate watch, and she's definitely one that I can hate watch because I just hate her tennis. It's so junk bally to me. Wow. I mean, it's just, and also, listen, can we just have a brief moment of like, maybe we should have called this podcast the Canadians because man, they're having a good sports year, and who knew they would get so obnoxious with it? But anyway,
I always knew they were obnoxious.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm like, first of all, I didn't know there were so many Canadian celebrities because everyone's retweeted all 5 of them on my timeline.
Oh my god, you're a bitch.
The only one I accept is
Is,
Deadpool. What's
is
his
the
name?
prime is the prime minister? That's the only
No,
one. Anyway, no, but congratulations to her. Listen, this is the wildest ride. You enter like 3 major tournaments, get to the final of all of them.
It's true, Terrence. Ooh, if Wozniacki was Wozniacki. Ooh, again, one of those players was just like, where the fuck was this bitch when I was playing her?
We love
Um,
Felix, Zenobia. We love Felix.
Listen,
But,
this is no, we love Felix, but no, this is true. Let me tell you, all those other WTA players should get together in a WhatsApp group and talk about the fact that these bitches are getting this Serena.
I'll stage an intervention. I'll stage an intervention at
Maybe,
the very
you
least.
know what?
You're like, bitch, if you're showing up and handing out these majors, you need to stay home. Stay home. Let someone else fight. Don't come. You can't come to the party.
Look at how hard poor Kara had to work to get
Ryan Reynolds, thank you. Ice Devil 0289. That's my boo. That's one Canadian bacon I would have. I mean, Canada's so obnoxious. They invented their own bacon. What the fuck does that? Regular bacon is okay.
Listen, I'll let them have their moment. I'll let them have their moment.
No, they're doing too much. We're not. Get the fuck out of here. And plus, Game of Thrones is problematic as fuck. And we're not. Y'all been there for so long, like we know.
Listen,
we know you're the not.
It's an NBA term. And hello, I probably was referring to black people. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. But no, good for them. You have your moment. Bianca, honey, take that trophy and run around with it. Roll around.
Buy your mama a wig, girl. Buy your mama a proper wig.
Buy her too.
You know what? Austin mama probably might give you a little word of wisdom. Or Austin might just snatch it. One way or the other, it'll be good teeth. Anyway, moving on to the men because, we have half an hour. And what is there to talk about? Well, Federer and Grigor. That's it.
Well, you know what? Well, let me just say, I think my pet theory. I think Wimbledon broke both Federer and Djokovic.
Oh my god! Listen,
I think it did. I think it broke both of them. Both of them.
I am good until he was hurt.
His back issues came back like normal.
I'm glad he didn't retire like some of your other faves. You know that Federer has been on tour for what, 20 something years, and he has never retired from a match. I just want to. That's kind of like a big deal. You stand out there and you take your ass whooping like a man.
I don't know why they're going to lose anyway.
Derek says Federer had one good match the whole tournament. Federer didn't have any fucking competition. That draw.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Wide for him.
He only had the Gauff match. Everything was slightly problematic. He was in a haze. He wasn't. He was coming together, but we didn't know. We were going to wait for the Grigor match really to see.
Oh my god, so bad. And then Grigor just goes and gets pummeled in the next round. Lose the headband, Grigor. It's not you.
You know what? I have a theory. Talking about wigs. I think that headband is holding down a wig, a lace front. I swear to God, on a lace front because that top here, that front is looking like a bang. It's looking way too full.
I know.
I know you got no edges, so I think that headband is holding down.
Is that what's going on?
Grigor, can someone DM me a picture of Grigor without the headband in the last 2 weeks? Because I swear that's the lace front he's holding down.
Probably,
and that's right, Grigor. Because you know what? Guess who is his coach? Andre Agassi. So Andre said, "Boo, don't wear pins. Don't wear hairpins, boo. You need a headband."
Oh man, do you think Agassi
let me tell you,
turn him into a wig wearer?
Because let me tell you something. That headband was tight, so tight. I thought Grigor was gonna pass out in the second set in the semis. Yeah, I thought there's no way he's gonna get through this match. But
this is we had another disappointing go about for Felix. Last year, remember, he had to retire during his match because he was having the chest palpitations and his heart was not doing well and he was tacking, but the ESPN commentators were like, he's fine. He wasn't fine. Felix, remember?
Oh, that was last year. Yeah,
that was last year. So we wanted him to come back, nice and strong this year. That didn't happen. I was ready to cheer for that Canadian.
And
it didn't work.
Francis take that.
Francis lose too.
Francis as well. Francis was also disappointing. Let me see. Where did Francis? Because I had him going a little further than. No, You're so mean.
Mm.
Listen, what's the difference between Berrettini and any of these other boys? Come on.
Sponge Barbatini.
Oh, Francis lost to Sasha. I guess that's
Mm.
respectable.
No, I actually thought that was going to be an upset because Sasha.
I do
I mean,
too, because it's a
listen,
Grand Slam and it's Sasha.
Listen to me.
and also he
Exactly.
lost to Diego.
Exactly.
Lost to
It's a
Diego
Grand
Schwartzman.
Slam. It is Sasha, and Francis couldn't get it done. That was a gift. A gift. That's like encountering Serena in a major final. It was yours for the taking.
It was so
Francis
sad.
didn't want it. He didn't want it. Listen to me. I mean, I ain't want to be hateful and careful. It's a black dude. You know what the case can be. But you know what? He needs to play up to his level. He needs to. He needs to get his shit together. I don't know who his coach is.
I was just gonna say, who is his coach? Where's
It's
Chad when you need him?
He's not reliable. His game set is all over the place. He's a mental midget. When he gets into the fifth set, he's always a punk. Always a punk. He does all that work and get anything. Sasha is messy at majors. Just messy, messy, messy. There was no way Sasha should have been losing that match to Diego. Diego don't even get to Sasha's chest.
Well, the difference is, I mean, let's talk a little serious. Like, what's the difference between Medvedev and all these other kids? Because look at Medvedev. Medvedev, apparently, I think I saw an interview with him, said that he's making different decisions. Like, he's taking tennis 100% seriously.
Well, this was going to be my point, because I think the difference between Medvedev and I think these Russians ever so often is that not only they're not just saying that they want it, they're going out and doing it. And this is the difference. We know Sasha wants it, right? And I think Sasha needs guidance, and that's what Sasha is looking around for. You know what I mean? His daddy isn't enough anymore, and he's trying to get someone. He's a person who can't do it on his own. He's never gonna be a Tsonga or a Federer who's gonna wander around cool-play. It's problematic. He needs strict instruction.
I mean, Tsonga is playing challengers right now. Maybe Zverev should go join him.
No, Zverev's a top 10 player. But you know what the thing is? The thing for me with Zverev is he doesn't play his position. To my mind, Zverev is going to be, if he's not careful, he's going to end up like a Chilich. Like, it's like you're not playing
a Burditch. He's not even going to.
Do you know? But like, you're not playing a big man's game. Do you know what I mean? You're tall, you need to serve big and step up into the court. Why are you looping balls back in the back of the court? That doesn't make any sense to me. And you let Schwartzman boss you around like he was the big man in a match.
Well, he can boss lots of people around, clearly.
I know, he definitely can. But I think it's interesting to look at the drive and the willingness to kind of sacrifice himself on court, which I don't love because I don't want that whole warrior shit. But that's definitely a part of Medvedev's game, right?
Or maybe Medvedev is you gotta peel away. You gotta get him nice things. Maybe that's the difference.
Well, what can I tell you guys about Medvedev? I told you that all them players were talking about how he troubles them because he doesn't let you get into a rhythm. And we saw, listen,
he was very disruptive.
If you can push Rafa back, you're doing something, man. You are doing something.
Well, I wish him
shots.
I hope this isn't a once in a blue moon kind of
thing. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
He's been playing like this all summer.
Yeah, and he's
been paying him any attention.
I think it's a little bit of the Delpo run. I mean, it's too bad it didn't end like the Delpo run. But I mean, Rafa wasn't going to let it because Rafa came back specifically to lock down a couple of slams. So, but also, I mean, you got to go to Rafa because Rafa was vulnerable in this match. He's shaky. Get him in that fifth set. He could be shaky. Medvedev let it up too early. Bro.
He had a break point early in the set. Could have been love.
I mean, listen, Safin wasn't lying. You get Rafa a little shaky, he might retire in the middle of the match and start crying. Love that Safin said.
Stanley knew that. Wawrinka did that, right?
Exactly.
I just hope.
Yeah, you got to pummel the ball. But you know what? I think Rafa felt like this wasn't going to be the guy that was going to take it to him. Like, I think he still felt he had his chances.
But if lose to a child.
Yeah. If it was somebody else across the net who could like pummel the ball, I guarantee you that Rafa would have experienced pain in the body.
One more time violation. Rafa should have been. It's Rafa. Time violation shot. Rafa should be losing sets.
Yeah.
not wanting.
Listen. The best way to honor Rafa in the future is just to call the shot clock Rafa's clock, and we're gonna do that in the future. And he's gonna get some money from it because we're gonna call it.
Actually, I don't call it Rafa clock because it means nothing to him.
It'll be.
They don't do anything. I mean, Ali constantly stop the clock.
I mean, these guys, maybe Tia Tony's got like a thing out on them. They are too scared. But anyway, I don't think it matters. I mean, I think in the end, if you most people understand how to play Rafa, you can't let that get into your head. Nick understands it. I think they all understand it. You just have to sort of know that that's part of what Rafa's going to do.
But here's down.
He's going to turn around, give you his back. He's going to put his hand up. I mean, I think this is where Bianca learned it, I think. So, all of those things, that's part of the course.
If tennis had any justice and, they don't want to show how they're racist or sexist or any of those things, we would have been having a piece about how the umpires failed to enforce the rules against Rafa.
Listen, they enforced the rules against Rafa at the very beginning.
Some of the people who spoke about how unfair it was for Serena last year. Y'all are doing y'all fave this injustice. When you turn around and be like, oh, Rafa, it's okay, Rafa, whatever, Rafa is a champion, whatever. Serena got more majors than Rafa. if y'all are upset about the disrespect that was shown to Serena last year.
Shouldn't they be equally upset this year? But no, they won't be.
They won't be.
Because they don't really care. And also because
this is proving her point. This is proving
I know.
That nothing happened to the men.
I know. Don't say it though. You can't say those things. Rafa is above reproach. He's saying
Rafa, it's just noisy.
No, listen. It's like I think it's like Rafa. I think it's like Rafa picking his ass. It's just a part of his game that everyone accepts. It's only when outsiders look at tennis that they see the like favoritism that's given over certain players. Like if people just receive it as just a part of the tennis, and I think the players just have to accommodate to it. You can't let it throw you off your rhythm. Like I mean, Medvedev was complaining about it, but I was like, that's a part of Rafa's game. Just like the way he hits the ball, just like the spins, you've got to expect the cheating by the coaching and the time stuff and all that stuff. That's a part of the package of his game. I mean, in some way, I don't get upset about it anymore because I'm like, you all know now. It should be the
well. It was the as Ice Devil points out, it wasn't just that he was going over the time on his serve. He was slowing down Medvedev.
Well, that's what he was.
That's what Medvedev was complaining about. He wasn't complaining about when Rafa was serving.
No, I know. He says, I'm always waiting.
I mean, it's the fifth that changeover. Rafa stays at his chair for well over a minute. I mean, this is like y'all can't talk about rules and this shit is happening. Y'all look stupid. Y'all look like fools. If y'all are not going to address that Rafa, it's poor sportsmanship. That is classless behavior, particularly for a young player who just gets to his first major. This is how Rafa is behaving.
You got to.
No, I mean, I think for me personally, I don't care. Rafa wins, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just speaking off the moment because y'all are gonna try to have this conversation.
I know, right? Serena. If it was Serena, right? It was Serena's moment, right? I know.
And then y'all literally made a documentary about this shit. A whole ass documentary about this literal shit. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. And there it was. And while we're on this subject, do you know how many coaching violations I have seen during this entire tournament? And you know who won talking to the coach? Serena.
Did you give
she needed a word. She needed God, Jesus, Jehovah. She didn't talk to a single soul.
Oh, Serena put a word out to Patrick. She did it impressed. She was like, you better fucking not. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but she made it very clear.
I'm just saying.
I don't know why, but I say it all the time. I don't know.
We're not talking about.
I don't know why we get. But I don't know why people get upset with Patrick. The thing that's interesting about it is that Patrick says there's no lie. The funny thing is everyone's pissed at Patrick, but now everyone's looking at coaches, and now everyone's admitting what Patrick said was true.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. There's all this angst, but it's like you're angry at the person who exposes what's going on in your sport. Like he's like, look, he's like, and I mean, people are like, oh, he regrets that he did it. Da, da, da. Fine, he doesn't regret it because he's like seeing everybody else does it. Like
He said I would do it again.
I
He
know.
said I would do it again.
Here's the thing I don't understand. Patrick didn't expose anything, in my opinion. Same here. He didn't expose anything because I don't go to all these tournaments, and I could give you names and incidents. We have been seeing Rafa and Novak.
He didn't expose it, but he talked about it. People don't talk about it. And if Serena Williams' coach is talking, people listen. So it is important.
The commentators talk about it all the time. What they weren't calling it cheating. Now the umpires weren't saying anything. This is the difference now. This wasn't about Patrick naming something and shaming something. This was happening all the time. There isn't a single Rafa match where Uncle Tony is in there and we didn't see the communication happening. There isn't a single one. Do we go to all the tournament? Pam got out her camera. Oh, look at this happening. Pam, get the fuck out of here, bitch, because it's happening all the time. Your camera was there. You don't have to give a cell phone video. You have a whole ass TV network right there. And I'm just simply saying, if we are willing to review tapes for Nick Kyrgios for anything he does on court,
right?
We ain't got no time to review tape and assess fines after the fact. We ain't talking about rules here. We're talking about something else. Y'all are just applying the rules to make it easier so y'all don't have to name and say whatever. So when these players like Nick talk about these issues and say this is racist, this is favoritism, and this is sexism, and whatever the case may be, everyone jumps up in a tizzy. But then there is the evidence. The point of it that no one can bring any evidence to show none of anything that Serena has said and Nick has said, and some of the other younger players have mentioned about the favoritism. You produce no evidence to say that they're lying. There's no evidence to say that they're not telling the truth, because we've seen coaching violations with Carlos Ramos, who everyone says an ITF coach and not an ITF umpire. So people need to really get out there. People need to talk the truth. But we know how this works because, as I said, tennis is a microcosm of what happened in the real world, right? It's the same mess. If we can't deal with tennis issues, how are we going to tackle the big issues in the real world? How are we going to do that?
We did have
we couldn't anyway. But I will have to say no. I think you make a very, very fine point, Reels. You're always really good at bringing these things and making it really crystal clear. Because you're right. On the WTA side, they sacrificed Serena for this whole Osaka moment. And you're right. Medvedev was having his very first slam moment, and he was playing against a champion. And this champion did his sleazy tactics like he normally does. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. You're right. You're right. It doesn't look good. It's fine. But I think the thing about it on the men's side, they just accept gamesmanship as part of the game for them. I really do. I think that's part of their whole masculine thing that they do. I really do. I mean, that sounds harsh, but I think that's part of the masculine storytelling. Like, I think if Medvedev complained about it, people would call him a punk.
Is that why the Bryan brother got...
I want to agree with you with women, but I don't believe in when I think toxic masculinity is an issue. But here's the thing. Andre. You won't find Nick Kyrgios $100 and something thousand and pen it.
Well, I mean, that's different. He talks too much. But what are you saying, Janina? Sorry.
Well, I mean, is this why the Bryan brother can pretend to shoot down, use his racket in the position of a rifle, and get a $10,000 fine for pretending to shoot officials, but Carla Suarez Navarro gets $40,000 for something that is completely subjective? Someone decided that she wasn't trying her best.
I think it all.
Well, I mean, this man made this threat, right? Whatever the Bryan brothers made that threat, and we just had a mass shooting. What?
But I don't even care if there wasn't a mass shooting. You did something that cannot be debated. It can't be debated. You took your racket, you put it in the way of a gun, and you pretended like you were shooting. And somebody deemed that unacceptable and gave him a $10,000 fine. There's no debating what he did. He did it. We have it on camera. You are giving Carla a $40,000 fine for what you believe that she was doing that you can't prove. I don't understand this.
No.
How does the concrete in your face violation deserve a lesser fine than something that is 100% subjective?
Because it's a white man who did it, and therefore white males get absolved of all liability. He's redeemable. He said he was sorry, and we move on. And $10,000 seems cute, a big enough situation. But my thing is that if this happened in Paris, I wouldn't necessarily bat an eye. If it were an American, if let's say a Englishman had done this, I'd have been like, that's kind of silly and stupid. Fine him. But it's an American behaving this way, and that type of American who believes in Second Amendment rights over people, and it happening in America, that was just inexcusable. The optics of it is horrible. He should not have only been. He should have been disqualified from the tournament. That's just my opinion. He should have been DQ'd and kicked out.
Well,
But that would have never happened.
That was not going to happen because this is a boys' club. But that was, I guess, those were big controversies. Was I think Carla is actually going to be she's going to seek redress. But I think she and the lovely dude from the Australia, Bernard Tomic, they should get together. They were both fined for first round matches in slams, right?
I think Tomic got back his money.
Yeah, they lost their money. It was the same.
No, he got back the money. I think they
No, did they change it for him? So maybe
Bernard.
For Bernard? Because I saw that he was. Did they reverse it?
Initially, but I think they reversed it.
Well, why make the thing if you're going to reverse it?
But my thing is,
do you make the case? So you making the case suggests that you actually do care?
But anyway. I think the issue, as I never pointed out, the issue for Tomic was, I think, why he failed. No, he failed on the appeal according to Pablo.
Yeah,
but that letter that they sent him was disgusting.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he did fail on the appeal. He
got back the money.
He said he was
going to try. He had
Oh yeah, well yeah, hers.
Ashveli, yeah, that's good.
For her case, she was able to prove, but I think for both the other two, I think they should unite and press their case. I just think it's sort of weird to me to be going back and taking people's money.
I just want to know if there is is there some criteria that needs to be met? Is somebody in the back like checking off boxes? Like if you do A, B, C, and D, then you must be tanking?
I mean,
that's what I mean. How does that work?
Well, it isn't tanking for them. For them, I think it's that they want. It might have been tanking for Tomic. But I think for Carla, they just felt
it was not giving full effort. What is that if it's not tanking?
Maybe you shouldn't show up in. But this is what I don't understand. Why shouldn't they show up for their money? They earn the spot to be there. People come to work sick all the time, and when they get a sick day, you pay them their whole full pay. I don't understand it. So I don't understand how we're gonna make an issue for the second round and for the first round, but when people pull out in. Coco pulled out in the second round. He didn't show up for his second round match, but he gets that money though. He didn't give his full effort. He showed up at a major, no, he wasn't fit. He had to have known that. Should we take away Djokovic's money because he was complaining about his shoulder all the way to the US Open? Should he showed up? And yeah, we're gonna give Murray a spot in the singles draw. And that motherfucker still wearing a sports bra. So I don't understand you people. You people again. Y'all,
you gotta do the you people.
Pablo says that the umpire watches the match on tape with other officials, and that's all fine and well. But what is the criteria? I don't care.
Do we know any criteria for
exactly, and that's the issue. We have this. We have this effort. Faith. What?
So that's what. So wait. Let me see if I get this right. You got two umpires and two players watching a match, whether the players giving their full effort. But y'all can't spot coaching violation. Y'all get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here with this shit.
It's just so
these
stupid.
players
it's
need
so
to get a union. I'll get a good goddamn lawyer who's gonna flash and whatever the case may be. Y'all are crazy. There's no way somebody's gonna fuck up my money like that. I will go right to this. This is madness. Y'all wasting 4 people's time. Four people's fucking time. So what with the players down called moving quick enough, doing this well enough for the kids to be. But y'all inspiring when the coach already giving rap a signal, giving some other player a signal, or literally when the players having a full on conversation with their boss.
Stop it. Wait, okay, let's go. Let's move on though. There were some nice breakthrough runs this year on the US
There
Open.
were.
I think I was sad to see Monfils go down, but I thought he had a nice chance to get to the semis.
He had a
We
perfect
saw
fucking
him and he
chance.
was sexy, and that was all that mattered.
I mean, he
Against
was very
Andahar.
good.
He played very well against Andahar.
Just against Andahar. I saw him live. That was the most controlled I've ever seen Monfils. And so when I saw that and I saw Berrettini, I was like, I think he's got a shot.
No. That was the most controlled you've
no.
seen Monfils for the whole match.
Yes, the
When he
entire
played
match.
Federer in 2014. He played a controlled match for 2 sets and a half.
I know.
And then he just lost his way.
But I thought he had a chance of beating Berrettini. But I only caught pieces of that match because I was out. Is that the best match of the US Open aside from this final, which I guess is going to now be because it was long? I think for the Wild, people were saying it was.
It was a great match. I watched it. It was fun, but Gail should have won.
Well, yeah.
Gail should have won. Gail should not have been in.
So,
should he have won in straights?
He should have won the second set. He should have won the first and the second set.
Okay.
He was just messy in the second set.
But you know what?
It was like he was focused and then he got out of the zone. You know, you can tell when he's just like, oh, what am I doing here again?
Yeah. Berrettini was fun to watch, though. I enjoyed him this tournament. It was nice to see some different people, you know, making a real, genuine push towards the end of a tournament that looked like they actually had a shot to win.
That's true, Pablo. I agree. If Dial had won, Rapper would get a second walkover, and nobody wanted that. So I was kind of happy SpongeBob Bettini won the match, honestly.
Well, yeah, me too. You know that someone asked Stan after he lost to Medvedev if they thought that Medvedev could win the tournament. His response was, "He can, but he won't."
And so said, so done. I hate when Stan is right. I hate whenever Stan is right. It's never a good thing. Never a good thing in my book.
Stan knows what it takes to go up against Rafa. You can't just show up with Rafa with spindly legs. You got to have your spinach. So I think it was so that was really nice. Those some nice surprising little runs. I mean, I feel like the people who they tell us are going to be the big stars turned out to not be the big stars.
Right.
So, here comes Medvedev. Here comes Berrettini.
I know Stefanos.
Oh my God, he crashed and burned, didn't he? I don't know. It was, you know what? Overall, it was not a great tournament.
The Australian Open, really? Stefanos done anything the Australian Open?
No, he beat Federer and then that crashed for the year.
Oh my God, that match broke him. That Rafa, I tell you, Rafa's out here breaking these young bodies. Stefanos has not been the same. Look at both.
I mean, I pray for Medvedev. Listen, if Medvedev can be,
I think Medvedev's going to have a fine fall because you know what? I think. Listen, he was struggling the whole tournament with whatever thigh issue
he's
had.
tired.
He's tired, and I think you know what? I think take a nice little break and then come back around for the fall.
Get a baby.
Make that big fall run, and I think
round one.
I think he might actually even have a chance to make the World Tour Finals. I think he's in a good position to do so.
Yeah, he's number 5 in the world. If he had won, I think he'd be number 4.
Yeah. So I think he's fine. I mean, he's probably his position is probably I think he's qualified. Well, maybe after this run he will be. So he's in a good position. He can sort of chill out a little bit and rest and then regroup. I saw a rumor that Serena is trying to go abroad in the fall. That doesn't happen. What's she trying to do?
Y'all know the last time a major offered Maria a wild card for the quali, she said she's not taking it. She didn't show up. So she's not going to take the Australian Open quali. She's not going to show up in the Australian. The Australian Open is going to be like, she's a former champion. Here is a wild card.
Yep.
Probably.
And then all this talk
which I think is unfair because I actually think she does need some match play. and she should probably play collies just to get herself in that space, so she'll
Yep.
be in the first round.
I mean, Tsonga and Kohlschreiber are playing in a qualifying tournament right now.
Do it.
Don't be
Well,
too humble. Murray too.
Let me
So,
check.
Serena
maybe
ain't playing Auckland. I thought they canceled her.
No. She said
Did
she's
you-
gonna try.
After how they treated Serena and Venus in Auckland, they ain't showing up there for shit.
So
I don't know who this Kava Joe or Kava Go is in the chat. Says they should refuse wild cards, meaning to Maria, until she stops screeching. Listen, I ain't seen you talk all the time. Do you know how fucking noisy that match was today? Get that shit out of here.
I
Rafa,
know.
Rafa's the biggest squealer around. He gets really into it. He really does.
Maria can get into a college. I mean, someone would take her for sure.
She was in Harvard. She went there. You listen.
Oh my god.
And meanwhile, I mean, if she get
Y'all, I'm tired.
Yes, we'll call it down.
she didn't get into Harvard, she was taking some workshop at Harvard. People be out.
Listen, you take what you can get. You can't be reels is so bad.
Come on.
Anyway, so let's end on a very positive note. I think we all believe that Serena.
Well, the U.S. Open is over, and that's positive.
That's very, very positive. We can end positively on the fashion. I was positively unimpressed by all the fashion.
It all sucked. Naomi had on a stupid mini superhero cape that was just horrible.
She had on gills. That was a fish tail, a fish paint or something. What the hell was
This
that?
may be the unpopular opinion.
Mhm.
I liked Serena's cat suit. I thought that was bad ass. I think that's the only thing I liked. I didn't really like it. I don't know what the fuck Nike was doing. I thought that the knot that the women were wearing in the back of their shirt was by design, but now I'm questioning that because apparently there were some players that didn't have it. So like, get your fucking shit together and make stuff that fits. I don't know what the hell that Lacoste kit was that Medvedev's wearing, that weird yellow shit. Like, I don't know. And then
But
like,
he looked clean and he looked simple.
he looks stupid. I hate it. Grigor looked like he stepped straight out of the 80s. That jacket that Serena was wearing over her stuff, straight out of the 80s. Like the jacket that Serena was wearing in press conferences looked
Yvette.
It looked like something that I actually searched for at the Salvation Army and Goodwill's to go to an 80s party. I'm not even kidding. It was so I don't understand. Coco's dress was cute.
It's New Balance,
the cut was
therefore I would
good.
never say it's cute.
Yes, we know.
She's cute.
But the cut was nice. Adidas could have been so good. Those women's dresses, and I think some people wore shorts, like the gray with the bright colors. The idea was good. The fit was poor. Like, what is going on? It can't be difficult to dress an athletic body. It can't be. Do better. Yes, thank you.
Lovely drama. Lovely drama girl is saying that Nike harassed all the female designers, so they're mostly left. Wow, me too. Hashtag me too.
Well, I mean, you know what? I'm amazed. I feel like I'm curious. It's like when you see some designers and they have to design for like normal people's body, they completely lose their minds. Maybe an athlete's body is not ideal for them either. Like I would have thought it would be because it's got the right musculature, it's a healthy body, but they don't seem to do it right. Nobody's ever dressed Sloane well. They completely forget the fact that she's.
I think that might be just Sloane.
No, I mean, I don't know. Maybe she has a certain taste, but she's high waisted. They give her things that don't work for her body.
Listen to me. It has been asked specifically about the input, and she just like, yes, I have an input.
Right.
I don't put anything on my body unless I agree to it.
Yeah, which is just so weird because I mean that means that you think you look good and you don't.
Well, you know, sometimes people.
But I think also what might be
work.
the issue with athletic wear. I do know that you're going to have issue. I think most designers are working with quote unquote a non-functional fabrics at times, and that might be the issue when you're working with athletic bodies.
No,
it's
listen.
just a look.
No.
Because for the athlete, it's not just a look you're trying to achieve. It must be functional, and they're
Of
probably.
course. But how
And
many
then
functional, good-looking kits have we seen in the past? They exist. They exist.
No.
You know what I think they have to do, though? I think they also have to do a lot better job in giving players. They've got to do a little bit better with some distinctive styles.
We should never.
I know Nike doesn't care, But man, why am I seeing people in the same kit? Like,
right. We should never have two players wearing the same
let me
thing.
tell you something.
Ever.
Because these players just jump and see Nike offering them some dollars. They rush away because that would have been in my contract. I mean, Maria and Serena never look the same. Maria never look right, but
I mean, obviously they're the stars, but I feel like they could do a couple second and third tier outfits so that different, like maybe if you're top 20, you're getting something. If you're top 50, something like that. Yeah, because like sometimes I'm like, why are you in the same kit, lady?
It's so bad.
It just looks weird, I mean, you want them to shake it up, and the guys for sure. I mean, you look over and you see Medvedev in that shirt. We're the other color.
No, I like the way Under Armour dressed Sloane.
The
Under Armour dress Sloane well enough, I think. But
like,
I still think they don't dress her body. I kind of like what Naomi was going for with the color scheme, because it was like the cheerleader outfit from last time. But I didn't love that weird thing that was flapping around in the back.
She looked like a mermaid. Zenobia, it isn't mass produced because most of these things are not available to the public, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what's weird. So it's like it's just theirs.
Oh, those ones are, though, the stupid ones that nobody wants. Those you can buy, but you can't always get Serena's or Maria's or whatever. But that stupid shit that they were tying, I guarantee you can go buy that.
I don't know who people lawyers are, but I'm just simply saying, please, if y'all shopping and meaning and Nike just say heads on the $12 and sign here, and y'all just going here looking like a goddamn fool, tournament after tournament after tournament. Y'all, I mean, I guess money is nice, but guess what? We're going to drag y'all from here to the chipping circuit every single time. We're going to take y'all to the mat. Y'all looking like a hot goddamn mess. And it's not cute. The picture's not cute. I mean, no one, you're not memorable. And I'm sorry, I'm with Yvette. I don't like the cat suit. I don't.
Oh, I didn't like it. It didn't look good.
I mean, like a lot of times.
I get the idea, but
Serena in years gone by has been cute, but to the lately, she's this ballerina dress out there. Hot man, girl, get your shit together.
I just think
Tony says
I like the cat suit as an idea, but I didn't think the fit of it worked, and it looked like it was constantly riding up for her.
Well, she's got her thighs rubbed, so it's going to.
No, but I mean that's fine. But I think you can design a better. It just felt like it was a weird proportion, so it made her look like her tummy was bigger than it was.
Well, you know what? I wanted to bring that up. Can we talk about that for a second?
What?
This is just something that I have noticed over the years. And when I saw Serena in the cat suit, I thought the same thing as you. Like, her stomach looks bigger. It has been my experience. I feel like oftentimes people of color, they can have washboard abs, but they seem to go out more than they go in. I don't know what it is, but a lot of the men and the women. You look at pictures of, say, Francis Tiafoe, who has an amazing physique. He has rock hard 20,000 pack abs. And then you put him next to, say, someone who is
a Medvedev.
No, because he doesn't have a good body. No, I'm being serious. Like somebody who we know has a nice set of abs, but someone like Grigor has nice abs, doesn't he? I think he does.
He does, generally.
I think he does. But his stomach, it doesn't protrude. It seems like people of color, their abs just naturally poke out, and it has nothing to do with the fat content of the body. Sloane Stevens' stomach often looks like, especially since Nike has been dressing her, that she's got a big gut. She doesn't have a fucking gut. Serena does not have a gut.
The design
but
sucks.
I think there's some kind, I really feel like there is some kind of genetic thing, because I don't think no.
Nope. Nope.
I only notice it in black people. I'm being 100% serious.
I think what you're noticing is poor design.
Yep.
No, I'm talking about men with no shirts on.
It's poor design.
No, she's talking about poor. She's talking about people.
I'm talking about body type. I'm not talking
about.
No.
I have seen that ab look on tons of other people. White, black, Asians, and whatever.
But I do think that they have failed to dress the bodies accordingly. So this is the thing, because Serena has a very small waist. You've seen her in person. You know that's the case. The way that suit fit, it didn't work. I think it needed a band. And I think and maybe the material needed to be different as well. But I think it was very effective. She probably should have worn it in the daytime. Maybe should have brought it out for the final. And then Sloane, I think Sloane again is like, I think it's just she has a high waist and they designed poorly for her.
She don't have a high waist. She thinks she has a high waist.
No, I think she's I think she has a short torso. She has a shorter torso than they tend to fit her for.
Girl, wear some pants on the top.
Oh my God.
I like Coco's dress. I think it's mixed things on it, but I thought the idea was very clever and cute.
Because everybody looks good in an A line. I don't care what your body type is.
Yeah, that's true. And also it's tennis courts. And I saw Angie shared a picture on Twitter of what the dress looks like normally. Like that looks like a very cute dress that you can wear out in the world. Mm-hmm. It's very sweet looking. So that was a cute design, but I don't think that many people wore it. New Balance.
People don't wear this a tennis tournament.
New Balance doesn't dress very many people, period.
Yeah, they have a few, but New Balance is eking out. That's another thing, by the way. You no longer have a Nike shop. I mean, I don't know how many times Nike's letting us know that they don't care about tennis, but Nike no longer brings clothing to the US Open. I think that was years ago they pulled out of actually having stands at the US Open. So now it's just Adidas, Under Armour, I think, and maybe New Balance.
Uniqlo had a shop there? Or they didn't get
they don't have a shop there, no.
Uniqlo don't sell shit.
Adidas has just
No, I thought Uniqlo had one when
No. They just have it.
Novak was there.
No, they've never. Even when Novak was it, they've never had it. So you've never really had access to. And I don't think this year there was any Lacoste as well. So it's actually so funny. You go to the tournaments, you don't see that stuff anymore.
I wonder if part of that is because Nike has that big store right downtown Manhattan. Uniqlo has one too. So I wonder if
so does Adidas. But
I just wonder if they're like, we want you in our store. Like, come to our store. People have all kinds of crazy marketing ideas that they think will be great. Mm-hmm. You never know, but it could be like, yeah, we're not going to bring it to you. You come to us.
Maybe the people go to the tournament, see it's expensive and it's cheaper in the store.
Maybe.
That might be.
I mean, that Nike store in Manhattan is massive. Online. It's massive. It's several floors.
People are not necessarily going to brick and mortar store anymore. Those stores are just for tourists. Local people know to go online and buy it.
Go buy it online, right? I don't know.
Anyway, folks, so
we done?
I think pretty much. We might have a podcast next week.
Maybe not. I don't care. I don't care enough about
Whoa! Okay.
But what about Janine? It's gonna be future time tennis, and you're not interested in future time tennis in Asia.
It's not that I'm not interested. I'm old. I can't watch it like I used to.
We're gonna take a break to recover from the U.S. Open, like we had to recover from fucking Wimbledon, except for the Rafa fans, who are many and should enjoy their guy getting to 19.
I mean, if it's ever this U.S. Open, should remember that hashtag so winners. Ooh,
what winners?
So winners. They've won, and they're just going to be insufferable.
No, they're not. Listen, my timeline is wonderful. I don't even notice Rafa won on it. There's like a couple things on it, and that's it.
Because nobody cares. Because honestly, what we wanted was a new winner. And when you saw all these guys come through, you saw Federer drop early. You saw Novak drop early. You saw, Rafa look vulnerable at times. So you thought maybe somebody might get him. We got excited about what could have been, and it didn't happen. So nobody's talking about it. I
freaking hate it though, because Rafa's like, he's got many slams in him. Motherfucker, have you seen what's been happening with slams? I was like, don't count on the fact that he's going to get to another final. You can't take these things for granted. People are always saying that. People thought Delpo was going to have a bunch.
You have time. You're young, bitch. Please retire, and then they might.
I might walk around next week and not get it. So, I mean, I wouldn't take these. People are always saying that to these guys. And I think what I like about it is Medvedev played like he didn't know if he was going to get to another one, which I thought was great because you really don't know.
Really? I thought he played like he plays all the time, which is what I like the best.
No, I mean, I think the turnaround midway through and him because listen, he was down 2 sets. Mm-hmm. What do we know happens to people when they're down 2 sets to Rafa? Head hangs, it's over.
Right, you go away, fuck.
Fuck, it's done. But he really
knew it too, but no.
We thought, right? We were like, let's start taping. But he really turned that around. And
I want
So it's
Most
great.
of all, I want him to be the villain that New York made him out to be. I want him to take
They
that
liked
shit
him in
and
the
run.
end. They
Of
liked him
course.
in the end.
They
Although
want new fresh meat.
I think that actually doused his flame. They should have booed him more, given him some hate juice.
I thought it was very interesting that the crowd was supporting him against
Rafa.
Holy Rafa. But hey, whatever. That's for another day.
I think they like, you know what? I think they grew to like him in the match. And also maybe it was going too quickly. So they wanted him to fight back in the third set. But because they seemed to fully change into Rafa's, championing Rafa at the very end. But I will say it is very clear that the US Open crowd is ready to cheer for anyone except Novak Djokovic. So
And it ain't Federer's fault. It's not
And
Federer's
yes.
fault. Just gotta put it
I
out
did
there.
feel Russian in the final.
So, we started with From Russia with Love for Svetlana, but one of Svetlana's children did it instead. So we didn't get
Oh,
the
shout out
Russian one.
to Serena Body Double
Yes.
at _ Mr. C, I think it is. I don't pronounce Mrs. E.
Yeah.
It was wonderful, and this motherfucker does not skip leg day. But Babatini, get it together.
I know. I told you I saw this guy walking up towards me in these fabulous shorts and wonderful legs. I was like, "Who's this?" And he had a wonderful smile and was so pleasant. And so we sat and watched like maybe 10 minutes of a part of the Benchich disaster. The Benchich Bianca disaster. Yeah, you know what? The US Open. Broadway was better.
Something you can really cheer for.
Okay, so I'm gonna just give a little shout out. If anyone makes their way to New York at any point in time in the next 6 months or so, I highly recommend Ain't Too Proud, the story of the Temptations. Very good. I liked it so much I went to see it twice.
Oh wow.
And you liked it so much you didn't even invite me. I know.
Yeah.
It was
You know this bitch is on a budget and he would have loved to see. That's not she did offer me.
I did offer. I did. But no, I mean it was lovely. It's a lovely show. All black people, but singing and dancing, oh my God, amazing. So I have zero regrets, okay? Zero regrets. I turned in my men's semifinals ticket and bought a ticket for that show, and I have zero regrets.
Well, good.
So that's just my plug. Make sure when you come to the US Open, please see other things besides tennis. I know that sounds wacky at people, but it's like, I love Broadway. God, it's so good. Anywho, it saved the US Open as well from some of those shitty matches. But it's been fun. It's been real.
Yes, Jessica Forstein. So we're moving on from Osaka winning 20 slams to Andreescu winning 20 slams already. Yeah. I'm telling you, girl. Tennis journalism is so unimaginative, and they don't even read the TV.
Why are they so desperate? Let these girls be. You know what? Bianca could turn out to be, what's that last one who won the Roland Garros and never did anything but
Eva Maioli.
No, but hit double fault. She's still playing.
Ostapenko. There's so many. She
could be our next Ostapenko, and it would be fine. She could just, she wins the slam, and then she just ends up being a regular on the tour.
Crazy person. I'm here for it because she kind of fits the bill already.
Exactly, and then her mom is gonna come with new wigs.
I love the people that just randomly showed up in my timeline because I tweeted and I didn't think it was negative. I just said that, this was the first time, and it wasn't the final. I don't remember when it was that I'd given an Andreescu match my full attention, and then I didn't really care for her.
She's a little bit of a sly player.
Yeah, and my God, did I wake up with some shit? And
honey.
Here's the thing:
Andreescu has fans.
From like all of Canada. But what I do want to say to the haters who said, "Who asked you?" I mean, people ask me all the time.
And it's
sorry.
on timeline.
Yeah.
And anyway, no one needed to ask. That wig spoke for itself. That wig had it all.
No. No.
Anyway, Andrina, you going to Labour Cup? Would you be in Geneva for the Labour Cup?
Yes, my next tennis outing will be the Labour Cup. Um,
This bitch.
that is
She don't
it.
take us with her.
I mean, I listen. You know how I
And
do.
I have a passport, a real one.
So it should be fun. I mean, I think my goal is to.
Is Rafa invited? Is he playing?
Yeah,
Yes.
Rafa's fine. Listen,
Don't
Federer's
quit
like,
acting like that wasn't fun. That was great.
Federer's like, listen, you win slam titles, you raise the bar for Labour Cup, and you're expected to be there. People are gonna want to see him, you know?
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
The tickets, the money.
I really enjoy Rafa at Labour Cup.
Labour Cup is not in Chicago. That was,
But oh my God, I can't wait
No.
for the conflict
Yeah,
of interest pieces.
I know Labour Cup is actually in Geneva, which is the reason why I'm actually going, is because I thought it would be a great opportunity to see Fed. Listen, I know people don't like to hear me say it, but I really believe that these last couple of years are Fed's last on tour. So any chance I get, I really want to see him do interesting things. I'm not going to go to South Africa, obviously, but I thought the idea of seeing him play Labour Cup in Switzerland in his home country
It's gonna be amazing.
is going to be really amazing. And so I wanted to make it happen.
And you can get us tickets.
For where? Trevor Noah?
South Africa.
South Africa would be fun. So that's
I want to see. I don't have to see Rafa. I want an obscured view.
I mean,
I like switch when they change stuff.
It's a phenomenon. So I don't know if you're going to be able to avoid that.
I kid, folks. The Rafa fans in my timeline. Yeah, I'll be all right.
Do you know what? I thought I'd be super salty that Rafa got 19. But you know what's
I don't give a fuck.
You know what? I really.
I don't either. But you know what's the pleasant surprise about this? Now everybody's like, but, and I'm like, guess what? You got big three, people. It's a big three world. Novak's coming for it. Nobody's going to be quietly, Rafa's going to sit at 19 for what, 2 weeks maybe? So, this is how this is going to roll out. We're just going to enjoy it all. But I just wish that Medvedev had done it though, because I think
I do because I'm ready for a new winner. But
the decade, I don't want him to be destroyed. I don't want it to be one of those where he never gets up to the mountain again, because the big three has destroyed a ton of careers. So I hope.
Yep.
I hope fucking four.
I know.
A generation and a half.
Yeah.
I know. Just talk to Kay. but I think they're better, because I don't think the big three is going to stay around forever. I think
they can't stay around forever. But God damn, they really ain't leaving fast enough. Let's just put it out there. I'm over it. Listen, I don't hide the fact that I'm a Federer fan. I love it.
But Federer is the leakiest one. You can get from Federer.
Even Serena,
yep, they're leaky.
Serena, don't shop in the final, okay? Give one of those little girls.
That's not my point. My point is you can never, ever, ever take away what they've done, and you enjoyed it the whole way. So stop freaking the fuck out when they lose and move the fuck on. Love the sport more than you love the player, and you will get so much more joy out of all this.
Fuck that shit. I gave up my semifinals ticket when Federer wasn't in it. I didn't love the sport.
That's fine if that's your interest, but
And if Serena hadn't got to the finals, the semifinals, they would have given up those tickets too.
No, actually, you know what? I don't. This is so sad. It's just because we all have vaginas, but I really support the women's matches. So I see anyone who's in the women's semis, but the men's side, if it's not somebody I really like, it's a long match.
It is.
So I've seen every semifinal for the last couple of years on the women's side, and it really doesn't matter if Serena is there or not, but it just so happens she's always been there.
Yeah.
She's
money in the bank. Do you know that Serena has not been? The last time Serena has not been in the semifinals if she shows up at the US Open was 2007.
Yeah,
she got to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so I've seen her in. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you know who's not fucking?
It's been the semis are better.
Federer. If I need to see Federer, I need to pay for like a quarters match or some shit, or the fourth round.
Girl, you better get him out in the second round, girl.
I can't. Those matches are insignificant.
Tommy Robredo, girl. Tommy Robredo is still on tour.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. But you know what it is? If it was a different generation, but I think it's like Janina said, to be honest, if Rafa had not made the men's semis, I would have gone. because that would have meant that it was all 4 new people.
Right.
And I would have been like, let's go. Let's see what you have to offer, But knowing that it was going to be Rafa and Berrettini, I was like, oh, that's not going.
The no bit Serena would be fine. I think, she would be wonderful. I think,
Serena?
I'm gonna put her to bed with the Russian funeral tomorrow.
Anyway, fans, thank you all for joining us. I see there's some new people. Thank you for supporting us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, to like us on what's that?
Podbean,
iTunes.
and please subscribe on iTunes.
And leave a comment, people. Leave comments. I enjoy comments.
Fantastic. It was great.
Good night, people. And did someone congratulate Rafa? Because I know I'm not.
No, we're just playing the Russian funeral march.
Okay. You see, Medvedev, if you had one, I would have played the Overture to 1812. You missed out on some amazing Tchaikovsky.
Aww.
Later, folks.
Aww.